Okay. Hello.
Hi.
It's time for session 27 of Beast in the Timetwist. What's up?
Are you ready?
Well, just a first little house cleaning thing. I am currently at the tail end of a cold that's been going for almost a week. I don't want to have to keep on I'm gonna pause every so often to cough or sneeze or whatever. So I don't want that to be broadcast to the world for all time. So I'll go without a webcam this session.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, this will be a tonally remarkable session. Shall see how you handle this. Who wishes to recap?
I can do it. I don't remember the last time I did it. Sure.
Okay.
Alright. Reading from the notes. Here we go. Following the goal of the letter Turner's friend sent, they decide that they need to head to Karifi next. But first they pursue Crim's memories by visiting the library in Crim's home. They look for some relevant books and find them all checked out, and through the memory echo, Crim realizes that the spell used to make him into a dragon was divine. That night, when they head to their hotel room, they encounter Scroocha, the jaguar they had previously helped Inshu, back in what the town was called. Credumble. He reveals that he is a koi hunter, someone who killed and stole for time powers. They let him go, but not without deciding to fight him the next time they meet, which happens soon after they find the Nightjar girl they met earlier dead in the room next to theirs. So they pursue Scroocha, attempt to fight him, but are stopped and worn out by his power that reverses time for him when cornered, teleporting him away each time. Exhausted, the party heads back to the hotel. Cashmere overuses his power one too many times and ends up making himself more agitated than normal. This lasts for a couple days, after which he goes back to normal. He's apologetic afterwards. Crim has a similar moment where he shrinks into himself and won't talk for a bit. A week later, they end up in Karifi, deciding to treat themselves for a meal in one of the most populated cities on the continent. There you go.
Thank you. You should consider, got a voice for, I don't know, movie trailers or whatever. You ever thought about that?
I've been told.
Okay.
For Audible or something like that.
I might go into that sometime. I don't know. I've thought about it.
Sweet.
So thank you.
Okay. It's thank you. I've heard that 18,000 times.
We'll put this on your resume.
Yeah. Okay. The Walk of Bose. It's lunchtime in the Heather Walk neighborhood. Heather Walk neighborhood of Karifi, on the western side by the lake. This place is very large, very popular. There's a small stream, 2 ways of traffic going in and out. It's lunchtime after all. There's brightly lit interiors, a lavish lobby with a couple people on a bench waiting for tables. It looks like there's more than enough staff scurrying around to serve the rush. There is a new hostess walks up to a podium as you guys approach and asks you, "Hello, welcome to the Walk of Bose. How many?"
Tim for 5. It's
Is
pleasure to have
Husson
you.
with us?
Yeah, she counts and is like, "Oh, not 6?"
I think that'd be 6. We have a plus
Plus 1. Yeah, I was getting that.
Oh well. Does he need a chair? He points at Crim.
Well,
Crim smiles
still,
nervously.
Honestly, Cashmere, I think it'd be more accurate to say table for 7 because it's how many we're feeding.
True.
Standard terrestrial seating. Any other special accommodations?
I'd like to buy the 5 men here a nice drink. That's all right with you?
Cashmere would ask for their vegetarian menu.
Oh. Yeah, she'll hand you some menus ahead of time. It's like one big menu, multi-pages, but she's like, okay, this is the section for vegetarian, this is blah, blah, blah. And assures you that there'll be drinks at the table too. And there's a minute or two of waiting, and then she walks you through multiple large rooms with lots of people. Again, it's spacious. There's even some rooms with booths that have jacuzzis built into them for like uplifted fish
Whoa.
and such.
Wow.
There's one large room in the middle that you pass through. It's empty. It looks like it's been cleared out for a band or performance, perhaps that evening. You also walk down a hallway with numerous picture frames. Right. Oh gosh, I'm sorry. This is another idea I had so long ago, so it's just funny for me.
Hand service time?
You walk down a hallway with numerous picture frames arranged on one side in chronological order, like in a row. Each frame is a year, and it contains a nearly photorealistic drawing of someone in each frame. You see one from 15 years ago, 14 years ago, 13 years ago. Most of them contain the same person, an uplifted leopard gecko, I believe. And each is labeled Treasured Customer of the Year. Sometimes there's an uplifted jackal in the shot, kind of giving him bunny ears, or like it looks like the gecko's giving the jackal trouble.
Would it be a
And you can
Western
see-
banded gecko?
Maybe let me look that.
If it's who I think it is, then yeah, he'd be a Western banded gecko.
Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. They're so similar to leopard geckos. Yeah, so Western banded gecko, and each year you can see him aging slowly and slowly. But he looks like he's still pretty fit despite how elderly and frail he looks by the end. And for the last couple of years, he's not on there. It's two different treasured customers of those most recent years.
Oh.
It's like seeing one of those YouTube comps.
Hmm.
Someone had a life well led.
Get to your table, and soon enough there's menus given, drink orders taken. It's a pretty nice place, so if you're ordering a meal, you could subtract, we'll say, 2 gold.
Wow.
Good stuff.
Damn, we're going
Not
cheap
bad,
today.
actually.
Yeah, it's got nice gin. Yeah, can I have a sec for something once we got our drinks?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Can I have a second for something once we have
Oh,
our
yeah,
drinks?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. All right. Sure.
By the way, for what it's worth, when Crim's not in overdrive mode, he's only 4 feet tall. He eats normally. Just has a big mouth.
When Wade looks around, he casts a little bit of a smile. He's probably got a gin in his hand. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm glad to see you all in better spirits now. It took a while to collect my words on this, but if you've the time, say a few. A few days ago, we lost. There's no good way to say it. No means we know today to bring back the good person who died, or convict the murderer who ran free. We're experienced in that sort of loss, are we not? After Gredumble, we failed. Failed again, and again, and again, until our psyches tore from the stress. Yet beyond that repeating nightmare, we stand here today because I'm amongst men who have overcome. Cashmere, he turns to you. You've stood against your own family, and you come out unscathed. Crim, you bested death itself, and feathers. Alex, you brought hope to a scorched town, and I expect will come to outdo even destiny. If fate is correct. Colonel, you were the first to take up this chronological burden, although I suspect your greatest victory still lies yet ahead. The strategy that we know to overcome the woes that are over us may not come in a day, a week, or a month. But I have no doubt in our time together there will be a moment when the man who could not fall finds himself once more against the motley bunch around me who could not quit. You know whom on that day who my money will be on. Toast. Here's a little clink.
Yeah.
I should have ordered a drink first, but he lifts up his glass of water anyway.
Everybody does the same. Not bad. Not bad at all, Wade. You have such a way with words.
I'll have to burn my notes.
Huston's got beer foam on his fur beard. Not a beard, but it's fur, so.
I find after a battle it's good to check in with the comrades. I could not think of a better place. I'm sure you guys now have a bunch of temp HP, and I'll like I'll say, fuck it. Wade, Cash, Crim, Charlie, you find yourself blessed for a minute. Wait, I didn't mean to do that. Fuck.
Well,
You are a creature of habit, are you not?
It's
How much temp
I use
HP
that
did you say?
just his usual 3d4. Let me roll
Okay.
for it.
Probably not important right now, but okay. I thought you already said it.
Take it. So you all take 8 temp HP.
All right, this'll like somehow if you drink too much, maybe this'll burn some of that off. That's not really how that worked, but I'd give you
Yeah,
a
you gotta
resolve
make
biggle,
some,
but well, we already start with it.
You get too drunk, you'll start casting higher level spell slots, I'm sure.
oh no.
Okay, after the orders are placed, this mink guy with his chef sleeves rolled up comes and does some acrobatic cooking right before your eyes with some cantrips to move the air, and the aroma's all about a practice spectacle, but a good one.
Yeah, Crim's easily entertained by this. His eyes are all sparkling.
What does a mink
I'm gonna-
mean?
Like a
Like a little
ferret,
mice.
ermine.
Yeah, like a
type of weasel.
Okay.
yeah. Cashmere will mostly pay attention to it, but he'll also elbow Alex. So, it never occurred to me. What do you eat, Alex?
When we're not on the
Whatever.
road, I presume.
He opens a bag and it's just a clump of moss.
With like some mushrooms in there.
In actuality, axolotls mostly eat insects.
Neat.
They thankfully tell us to no to enter insects.
Yeah.
Come on, we have like how many carnivores
Just you
in the
wait,
party?
I found a way to circumvent that.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And similar question, Cashmere. Are you one of those spiritual people who can't have any alcohol touch their lips?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I could make it spiritual, but I just don't like alcohol. Simple as that.
Fair enough. And then Turner orders himself a glass of wine.
Huston leans forward and says, "Make it 2."
I respect it. I could use that for these days.
Temper yourself there, Huston. I think you already got a head start.
Crim is a very smart dragon, and when the waiter comes over, he points a claw at the meatiest looking thing on the menu.
Okay. You get like flanks of zebra cooked right. I don't know, all sorts of exotic food from all sorts of parts of the world here. You are in the middle of the temperate part, and everything leads to Karifi.
Turner's kind of like looking between a couple of different like sections of the menu. There's like this, these spicy tuna sushi rolls from the Sandswint region that he wasn't quite able to scarf down when he was a bit younger, and he thinks that he might be up to the challenge now.
Look on save, DC 25.
The Persona 4 meatball bowl or
Oh my-
whatever.
No, the beef bowl challenge.
More specifically, the spicy tuna roll.
God, this place is not a mere tourist trap. I wonder if Presto is the equivalent of microwaving something in this universe.
You have to eat it fast or it goes bad.
Food arrives soon enough. Distant music from some other room, some live performers. Pretty good. The food, though, is way better. It's definitely worth the money. Maybe it is a bit of a tourist trap. You know, some of you may have the belief that many have in real life that the true best food comes from places people don't know about. But hey, this is not bad.
It's probably the best imitation you can find.
Any other conversation topics as the food goes through?
Do you all know much of Glenn, was it? The song back in the day? I've not researched them much.
Well, before my time, my people had worked with the song. think there were more. I think there were more kindred spirits with the fox, though.
Oh yes. They must have given new ways to punch people.
Crim would be just listening in, taking advantage of the fact that once people look past the fact that it's a dragon, he's often overlooked as it's just the service dragon or something like that, which lets him be able to like listen to conversations more intently without garnering suspicion. He's curious about any talk of the town going on. He's wondering anyone talking about performances and stuff like that, because wherever she goes, there's usually talk about it. So he's listening in. That's all he's doing for now. Being a quiet, good dragon otherwise.
No rule needed. A term you keep hearing is SHL. It seems to be something people are looking forward to. It's an event of some kind. Maybe it's a performance. Maybe it's like a museum exposition. But they don't really. It's kind of hard to put together what, like the details surrounding it. Just like, oh yeah, SHL. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I'm guessing a history.
Where's the next one?
Would a history roll help here or no?
No.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
That's fair.
But there's, of course, all sorts of other topics people are talking about. You don't catch wind of any significant music performances, though, unless SHL is one or is a music performance part of something bigger.
Crim will discreetly write down a note on that to investigate later when they're done eating.
I hope it's a Buzzbush to MCR.
And I forgot to say the name of your hostess, who is a bat-eared fox. She would have introduced herself as Matilda. And she would join now for a moment. Everything going well? Can I get you anything else?
I think I'm fine.
Splendid. We ought to divide the check 6 ways.
Yeah.
As like the meal's been kind of like going on, Turner's like he's been kind of like just sniffing a bit as he's trying to like power through this food that's a bit harder on his sinuses than he may have initially expected it to be.
Yeah.
He's kind of discreetly
Such
like
foolishness.
he's like discreetly just kind of like wiping his beak with his napkin.
Actually, I think you're completely unaffected by it.
Doc, don't take this from me.
Don't worry, he inherited the gene. He inherited the gene from some long lost ancestry, Doc. Genetics don't mean anything anymore.
I need something to like give Turner the same the same voice that I have right now.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
She is giving you a sympathetic like wince at your tears when someone in the booth over says to her, "Hey, pardon, aren't you Glenn's daughter?" And she gives a polite smile and nods. "Yes, I was adopted by Glenn and his partner Dev."
Oh, the term partner has crept into use even here.
And then like, oh, from all the people sitting next to it.
Pleasure. You've done the family legacy well.
It's kind of you to say. Thank you.
Yeah. What's your name? Don't mind me asking.
Matilda. My friends call me Maddie outside of work.
Is excuse me, is the proprietor does he grace his place much nowadays?
Dad, Glenn, he'll come by every now and then, check on the menu and such. He used to be very active, obviously, being the founder, but he's in retirement more or less. And no, I will not tell you where he lives. My apologies.
What a shame. What a shame.
We recently saw the play. Is there many stories that would not have told us? With the old man?
Do you
really
look
thought a big fan?
She smirks a little bit mischievously. I could tell you some things, but I really shouldn't. But yes, he did fight a fan. A big one.
Well, now you treat the fans to drinks. We appreciate it.
She seriously up again and refills some water and runs to get a 6-way check.
Gods.
Contrary, wanted to add this. Contrary to how he moves, Cashmere eats very slow. He nibbles on the leaves that he's eating and stuff. He's mostly leaning over and just eating it occasionally. Mostly they're just to talk.
I'm picturing like a lettuce wrap.
Yeah. He says, I'm not a history guy, but
Really?
we've been I know, right? But we've been hearing a lot about those. Bos, Song of Bos. I didn't hear a whole lot about that back when I was a kid.
Fingers crossed. Well, your town didn't exist in the first campaign.
Well,
I mentioned the war never made it too far into your hometown. I'm not sure I stated.
Probably fortunate in their location. They're south of Karifi. The invaders came from the north, and Karifi was the final stand. Perhaps
It's like a historic battleground.
Perhaps it's fortunate that you haven't had to hear much from them.
Maybe. But I don't know. Sounds interesting.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, no.
Bills are brought. You have some time to digest, and then off you go, shall we say?
off we go.
Off you go. As you are leaving the Walk of Bos, you pass again by those rooms, one after the other, including that room with the big empty space. Yet, voices are raised now. Something's happening here. There's two people arguing loudly from like the eating booths on opposite sides of the room. One of them is a porcupine lady. She's saying, "No, I don't care to hear it anymore." And she's like stiffening up, like her spine's kind of quivering, like she's really agitated. She's got this sour expression on her face. She's kind of heavy set. And she's wearing the most ridiculous thing. It's like a leotard, like a dancer. Or maybe that's standard for some porcupines around here, so they don't pierce their clothes with their quills. The other side of the room is a younger Tasmanian devil gentleman. He's got fur that has kind of like tribal tattoos, red paint or ink, which you can see thanks to his pretty revealing clothing. He's got this athletic build, definitely in shape. He has devil horns, it seems, coming out of his skull that match the red tattoo or whatever. And he is saying back to her, "Hey there, I do hope I'm not intruding. Let's make a deal." He gives her a smile and she just sneers at him further. Everyone else in the room is like politely trying not to gawk or like intervene, but clearly paying attention to this altercation.
Can I do a religion check on that guy?
Sure.
What species is he again?
Tasmanian devil.
Oh, okay.
Although they would call it something different in this world.
That is a 15. Oh, no, sorry, an 18.
18. The shape of his horns definitely seem like devilish. You might count him as maybe like a lesser devil of some kind, but you don't know the exact species or abilities he might have. But you would know humanoid devils like him for sure might have an affinity for fire and like making deals. You know, a lot of those tropes are based in truth.
Turner's definitely kind of squinting at this guy. It's pretty obvious that he has every reason to be suspicious, but so far just kind of watching how this goes, not immediately intruding.
Yeah, we're trying to get a little bit more info as well. Just watching.
Okay, just kind of postpone your exit. Okay.
Cashmere will mutter, like, "What's this guy's problem?"
Crim will be paying a little bit close attention to this as well. specifically because, I mean, as he had mentioned just prior, he used to go to the church specifically to learn Infernal about this shit like this, so he just pays attention.
Okay. Well, they don't seem to mind, or they're too wrapped up in this conversation to notice they're attracting a bit of a crowd. The Tasmanian devil, I'll just call him the devil now, is saying how, like, I came to eat a meal that I've rightfully earned in peace. And she's like, I haven't forgotten how you burned my tail quills to a crisp, you creep! You don't deserve the peace! He tries to say something else, and she says, You're a devil, but you act so holier than thou! You're not better than anyone! And then she rushes towards him, head down, and quills start ejecting out at him as he also tenses, snaps his finger, there's a smell of sulfur and cinnamon, and combat is joined. Roll for initiative.
Oh my
Shit, alright.
Quickly.
Violence!
Would it be a map or the other mind? Oh.
Map.
Okay, I was going to wait before I roll for initiative this time, so I can actually just do it on the character sheet.
I want to remember you're 8 temp HP.
Alright.
Yay! It mattered.
I didn't expect
Combat.
the lady talking to the devil to be the one to start on.
Yeah. So,
There
loading
it
for me.
goes.
Taking a little bit.
99%.
Oh, Walk of Bows. W-O-K. Okay. Alright. I get it now.
I rolled well on initiative this time. Appropriate, since, you know, he was paying close attention to the whole thing since he doesn't talk in this area. Lets him
Rolling out
focus.
Did I actually roll less on the second roll? Oh. No, I got a
I
10.
need to just stop using this die roller because it always gives me garbage.
You cabbage.
Oh, Jesus.
20!
Fuck. I could be decisive. We'll see.
Did Wade get at the top? Okay, yeah, okay. Cashmere is like in the middle-ish, in case anyone wants to switch.
I'm gonna lose my shit if she's actually called Pincushion. I don't actually see where... Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah, she kind of blends in. So you guys were maybe going, like, counterclockwise around this room, and you stopped halfway through your egress to the north when you noticed this. And then, like, to the north, to the west, to the south, there's all sorts of other rooms. The blue circles represent either booth walls or tables. But there's not really any other, like, civilians in this center part. Any questions about the map?
None currently for me.
Nope.
Are there people?
Yes, they're all, like, I'll just ping.
Alright. Avoid AoEs, folks.
Yeah, and, like, everywhere else, too. That's not the middle here.
How far away is that? Okay.
Okay, Wade. What do you do?
Never a dull moment. Alright. Alright, Wade. Springs into action. Like, he runs 30 feet ahead. It's like one of those, like, telltale moments where, like, the world kind of freezes and you're just, like, shifting in between the two people. Like, which one to, like, try and stop and intervene.
Ah, yes. The civilian or the devil? Which one is dangerous?
But this again, the civilian was the one who tried to attack first, right?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Han shot first.
Yeah. Other question, Tal. Are devils humanoids?
I
Well,
don't
no,
think
they're
so. They're
devils.
fiends.
Yeah, fiends. Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright. Well, no time like the present. Wade will raise his whistle to his lips, give a little toot toot, and then he's going to center a Charm Mortal on the porcupine lady.
Ooh, okay.
Alright, so that's going to be, choose a beast, giant, humanoid, ooze, or plant you see within range. With saving throw, be charmed by you for are you for the duration. If you or your allies are fighting it, it could be the saving throw at the end of its turn. If Charmed begrudges a friendly acquaintance until you.
That one.
I was going to say disadvantage.
All right, Chow, fish for a nat one.
Not
Ready
two.
now. One.
Miss, it's a pleasure to meet you. There's no need for this. Let me buy you a drink, show you around. Okay.
Okay, and sorry, mechanically, what happens to her? Besides, she's just charmed, right?
Yeah, Charmed and begrudges a friendly acquaintance. So I believe there's like a mechanical condition for Charmed in this system. Let me double check what it is.
You've advantage on charisma checks to interact with her socially.
And she cannot attempt to harm you.
I assume drawing a magic stone or a shillelagh would be counted as threatening here, so he'll pass turn and call it. It's worth.
I mean,
worth a shot.
to her, to him.
I think arming yourself intrinsically wouldn't be like, oh, break the charm.
Yeah, true, but he'll still hold off for now, and I'll also look to the devil like, there's no need for this. Come on. I got her. Pass turn.
He spares a fraction of attention to you before turning back to her, saying loudly, "You don't understand. She's shown her villainous face in a time-honored place like this and saying such unattractive things." And that smell of, again, like cinnamon and sulfur mixed together somehow that smells good appears, and he warps, dodging some of these quills barely. Straight up walks up to her. He's got a pitchfork in his hand that's bright red after that teleportation move, and he tries to straight up stab her with it.
Oh well, there's your answer, Bugle.
Just barely misses her. It like clips a few tips of the quills all around her body, and they're like they also seem like painted, like they're white. They're kind of eye-catching as they're shut onto the ground. You notice this especially. And on her turn, she has nothing to say in this moment. She just circles him a bit with like a bit of a flourish, like spinning to make him back off a bit. She then ejects more quills at him, making 2 attacks. One of them like clips, drawing blood on the surface of his shoulder. The other misses, lands on the ground. And she also speaks some words of power, and like the quills on her arms, like her upper arms, extend a great deal. Looks like she might do something with them next turn. The people elsewhere in this area are watching with like this sort of onlooker excitement, like, oh, there's combat happening in this restaurant, whoa!
Fight!
Yeah. Hey, I can imagine it's like in 2D. It's like playing like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. Where
Yeah,
there's,
exactly.
like people are watching in the background.
Crim's turn.
Alright, Crim is up. Crim, now since seeing the actual stab, he was at first kind of unsure, but now he's like, yeah, okay, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As Crim then
Oh, sorry.
uses a bonus action to get big, and then goes for a tail-based bludgeon. Oh. Am I blessed?
No, sorry.
Right, that was a joke.
Aw.
Also, lots of time had passed. 14? Doubt it.
That will hit.
Oh, shit. Jeez, rolling a 7 now. No, not 7. 8. Anyway.
Yeah, they're not exactly geared for war here.
Oh, it's against the devil, to be clear.
Oh, yeah, that still hits, actually.
Okay, yeah. Why would she hit the porcupine? She's getting stabbed, which is ironic. Alright, 14 bludgeoning damage.
14 to
And-
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, he's large.
And this is a bite? Or no, it's a tail attack, you said.
Tail bludgeon. Yeah.
You smash him, and you hear a crack, and he goes, ah ha ha! He is bloodied.
And with his behemoth feature, that is also going to require a strength save.
Oh no. 15.
Oh, damn. Alright. Seeing how he's suddenly very bloodied, Crim flinches at that, and his second attack is just a straight-up grapple attempt.
Okay.
Higher number.
Okay, yeah, you successfully grapple him.
And he just... No, that was his entire movement. Yeah, pass turn.
I will say, the way you grapple him, you still succeed, but you can tell this is like familiar territory to him. He kind of like twists his grip a bit to add some leverage to himself.
Yeah, he probably knows how to wiggle out. He's probably got high dexterity, is my guess.
And one other thing I forgot to do. Sorry.
Go on. Oh, go on.
On my turn, I forgot, with the charm thing, she would have said to you briefly, Wade, "This is important, sweet cheeks. Give me a minute." And like a condolence kind of smile before turning back to him.
Well, hey, she's not hostile toward Wade.
And also, in fairness, Wade wasn't actually able to even try a charisma check yet, so he might be able to do so on his next turn if that's what Beagle decides to do.
Where's the rules for the influence? That's called. That's... There's not really discrete rules, I'm guessing, Doc, for like action speed of this. It's implied to be more just in conversation.
It's the influence action if you want to try to actually affect the other person's behavior.
Okay, so you have to spend an action then. Cool. Cashmere.
Okay. Cashmere will speed walk over to the devil, grumbling all the while. Just can't have a dinner without being interrupted. And he will walk up right behind him and judo chop him right in the neck with a stun strike.
Okay.
Jeez, this guy who was attacked first.
Really? I'm gonna...
Well, you don't have to declare the key, the key spent unless the attack actually hits, so...
Okay, well, first attack will miss.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Cashmere, please end this. Add a D8.
Okay.
I don't think...
Hey?
I mean, he has extra attack, but I guess...
I get my reaction for something. I get this on short rest.
Why not?
14.
14? That does hit, right?
14 hits, I think, yeah.
Okay,
How about that?
that is a con save.
Okay.
Assuming that hit doesn't just down him outright.
13?
It's 11, so he actually saves.
Hey.
Wait, your save is not just 11?
What? There's no way.
Yeah. It's like your wisdom plus your proficiency plus 8. So that should be at least 14, right?
Stunning Strike is con save.
No, it's a con save against your wisdom.
Oh!
Yeah. Your key save is your wisdom modifier.
Okay, well, that's me wrong then. That is 13, isn't it?
What's your wisdom?
Let's see.
3? Yeah, plus 3.
Yeah, so that should be 14 then, because our proficiency is 3 plus 3 plus 8.
I can't do math. Okay, yeah, so...
Okay. Stunning Strike, yeah. Target makes a Constitution saving throw. Presumably it's the same DC as your other stuff. Okay, so he fails?
Yeah, fails.
And also 12 hopefully non-lethal damage.
Yeah, non-lethal judo chop in the neck.
Okay, he is not downed by that, but you get him good.
Wow, Crim got him almost exactly at 50 then.
I'll have to fix that later.
I realized I messed something up. Oh well.
Well, he's very nearly down, so Cashmere will just...
Actually,
Hold
is he
him-
very nearly down?
Is he?
Yeah, he's not on death's door. He's bloodied.
Oh, he shows up as unharmed.
Oh. So, ignore the numbers that are going to appear here, but there. Oops.
Well,
Yeah, it was Death's Door, mathematically.
There we go.
And Cashmere will end it by holding his arm around the guy's neck and punching him straight in the back.
Oh.
God.
Before you do that, as a reaction to your last hit, nearly doing more damage to this devil, the porcupine would whisper loudly in a hushed tone to you, Cashmere. What are you doing? Don't get involved! Back off! You may proceed as well.
And this was his next hit, a 12. Does that hit?
That'll miss.
Well, in that case...
Intentionally misses.
Yeah, like when she whispers to
Distracted
him, he's like, what? They're causing a scene. Oh, forget this. And with his extra attack, he will go for another one.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Snap,
What is
are your
going
rolls
on?
That one was Crim nervously shifting the devil out of the way. Because he's like, huh?
Yeah. Cashmere, like, looks over at Crim like, what?
Crim shrugs. He does. Not even he knows.
Oh, never mind. He takes a step back, takes his arm off him. That's his turn.
Alright, Alex.
What about Turner?
Oh, sorry. Alright, Turner.
Alright. Turner's just kind of like a bit befuddled at where this is going on. It's just... and unfortunately, in his, I don't have a huge amount of CC things in my repertoire. So he's just kind of like watching this all go. He is going to use the staff to place a web around this area to try to restrain this all, and he will use his meta magic to so that way Cashmere, Crim, and if there's like a bystander or two around them will not be affected by it. Murdoch, stop barking, please. Sorry, my dog is like very bothered by something right now. I don't know what. So yeah, a creature that starts its turn in the web but not restrained by it or enters it for the first time on its turn must succeed a strength saving throw. Well,
Okay.
but I guess with the meta magic for the first turn, it shouldn't affect those people. Yeah, I guess it's kind of weird when it's like something that doesn't actually come into effect right away, huh?
Those creatures automatically succeed on saving throws, plural, against this. Oh, on the turn you cast it.
Huh.
So I guess
Yeah.
I guess it wouldn't
Careful
really.
spell will not help.
Okay.
It's just web. They're not hurt.
Yeah, I suppose. So then he'll here, I'll go ahead and make a thing for it then. 20 foot, just so I can place it properly.
I heard Murdoch. He's like,
Yeah, he's just something is agitating right now. Probably some noise outside.
you could have draw it later if that's the last thing on your turn.
Yeah, I'm just drawing it now, but that's about all I got right now. I guess other than like a study action, but I don't want to bog down things right now. So yeah, he'll position it here where it should hopefully not catch his allies in it.
Okay. So you're not studying.
Well, yeah, I guess I can. We'll go ahead and religion to get like an actual battle check on him.
Yeah. Yes, you could. Even if you fail, I could supply some stuff from that past 15.
Well, that's good because I got an 11.
Yeah, an 11.
I rolled an 11.
15. You would feel a little bit befuddled. He has yet to display any distinctly devilish capabilities other than those smells which are stereotypically associated with, the planes that they come from. You would also be a bit surprised, based on how you know of Crim's fighting prowess and Cashmere's fighting prowess, how easily he was able to be
Subdued.
harmed and seeming,
Yeah.
subdued.
Well, I guess almost subdued.
Again, he would defy classification from this angle with 11 and 15.
Web is not that big. It's a cube, not a sphere. So
I'm sorry.
It's a 4x4.
That's actually much more convenient then.
And cubes are weird here.
You said it's 4x4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you.
Alex's turn.
Alex.
I'll fix that.
Alex is observing the situation. Has a vague sense that something isn't quite right. Is there some sort of check I can do to try to see? Basically, I am suspecting that this guy is not actually a devil. Is there some sort of check I can do?
Yes, I'll say you could do either history or insight.
Well, I know which one of those I'm better at.
Man was going to a Halloween party, got the shit beat out of him.
I'm just cosplaying,
Smiling
you
for this
guys.
moment.
I was going to a convention later.
18 on insight.
18 on insight. This person. Yeah, you think this is probably a costume or a bizarre fashion trend. And it seems like... how do I phrase this? The only things that have seriously injured him so far are you guys. It seems when he was fighting her and her, sharp, deadly quills, even though one kind of cut him, the other missed him, it was like almost performative, like he skillfully turned those into near misses.
Fuck!
We might want to do an inside check on her now.
Well, not exactly what I had in mind for
God
an
damn it.
unforgettable luncheon. They're just actors.
Yeah.
When you say that, half the people in the room glare at you. And a couple people hissed. Shut up! Anything else?
Look,
for
if
your
you
turn?
want the guy dead,
Crim, as a reaction, Crim makes a howling noise and then falls over dead. Letting the devil go.
Okay. When you do that, even though he's like stunned and about to be webbed and kind of grappled, he still is like, serves you right, villain.
Crim's technically prone right now.
We can't escape these drama club dropouts, can we?
Anything else on
Well,
your turn, Alex?
no.
At the top of initiative, now that combat's been going on for a little while, you would see that, again, the audience is still excited by this. Even now that there's bloodshed and people getting beaten up, there's not a lot of fear in the room. Also, you, Turner, around this point, I'm sure, since you're not like up in the fray, would notice amongst the people watching from the doorways at this stage, you notice a couple corvids that you would recognize from your childhood of the brouhaha. Just watching analytically with less of an excitement air about them as this combat occurs. Another thing that happens at the top of initiative is an uplifted orca teenaged girl right around here is now standing on her table and acting as an announcer of sorts. It looks like Pincushion is still on the offensive, but Devilish Dax, who are these newcomers, really giving him the go toward, and just starts announcing whatever you guys are doing. Your turn, Wade.
All right. Well, things have gone very complicated in the last 6 seconds, haven't they?
That's why I don't like subscribe to the whole idea that a turn is 6 seconds, because there's no way.
No, we got this.
All right. So again, everyone. So we've all let the devil go, correct?
Yeah, Crim
It's up to you
is
what you want to do.
Crim has been mysteriously knocked back and prone and let go of the devil. He is nervously looking around, trying to figure out what he wants to do next, but he does not look harmed. He has a charisma of 8. He does not know how to act.
All right. Well, in that case, in for a copper, in for a gold. Wade like takes a very prominent, almost one would say performative strut over here. He centers his gaze on the porcupine. Well, that's gonna be how it is, missus. You seem formidable. Care for a spar? As he grasps a shillelagh and flamboyantly gives a little twirl in his hand.
Roll
Hedmer is,
performance check. But go ahead, guys.
Hedmer is standing there with his hands on his hips, like tapping his foot, looking at Wade. Really? Are we really doing this?
Never a dull moment. Alright. I got +9 to this. Better in the crowd, bitch.
Nice.
Yeah, it is a crowd, isn't it? Wow.
Better in a crowd, indeed. The crowd, yeah! And the announcer is like, who is this new entrant into the division? And people are starting to chant, SHL, SHL.
Alright.
God damn it, Hal. Why are you doing
Oh
this to me?
no.
Hey, Turner, please. Drop the web.
Turner maintains.
Alright,
Well.
fair enough. Well, let's see. In that case, I guess Wade will just, like, again, try and change her behavior to, like, essentially make charisma check on Miss Porcupine, basically to get her in on the act, to know his intentions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to kind of change her focus too, okay.
Alright, so I got advantage on this, because she's charmed.
I said DC is 10. It's not hard.
I cannot fail.
I cannot
nat one.
Get a nat 1, it'll be funny.
Let me roll twice with advantage.
Hey.
The same thing, okay.
Alright. Yeah, she turns to you, quickly adapting to the situation as if she's like making a show of sizing you up and like nodding with an excited smile.
Alright, sounds good. And you know, fuck it. Yeah, he'll just stay on the edge of the web for now, but I'll call that past turn.
Okay, they both make dex saves on the web.
I think it's strength saves.
Strength. Oh wow, she gets a nat 20. He gets a 14.
I believe he's going to fail because my DC is 15.
Is he restrained then, or what happens to him?
Yeah, he is currently restrained. And then at that point, seeing that he is restrained, is it a free action or a reaction to drop concentration?
No action required.
Okay, then I will drop it.
Wouldn't that immediately free him?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. You're trying to get her. Okay.
I was trying to get both of them, but now things have changed.
The web's been up into nothingness. Oh, it's my turn. Right. Okay. Devilish Dax. He looks like he's thinking fast. Wastes some time just like adapting. And then he says, what would he say in this situation? Say, fine, pincushion. You're victorious, but I'll see you in the ring at the brutal battle. and he gives you Wade, and you Cashmere, and you Crim as he turns around like dramatically saying these words, like, why did you do that? Seriously, kind of look. And then he snaps his fingers as a puff of brimstone and smoke, and he is... Oh, well, he's stunned. He can't do that, can he? Do I get a save to allow him to be free?
No, he's just it's until the end of Cashmere's next turn.
Which might will end automatically.
Dude,
Looks like
he uses like big heal speech, but he's still paralyzed.
Yeah.
Well, he's
like-
an actor, so maybe he has legendary acting resistance.
He looks like he's really wanting to snap his fingers and do something, but he's just out of it, and he makes a fool of himself.
It's like in Oblivion when you cast the paralyze spell and it still zooms in on them as they're on the ground talking to you. It's all over, Lawbreaker.
Pincushion for her turn. She makes good eye contact with you, makes sure you can see her and this attack is coming, and like tries to stab at you with the quills on her arm. I would like you to roll. Let me see
Stab at
how
who?
exactly this works. I wasn't you, Wade. And it doesn't. I know she's charmed by you. It doesn't look like she's trying to harm you. She's giving you. She's putting the ball in your court with this attack. If you wish, you can make an acrobatics check, or yes, you can make a dexterity-based acrobatics check as part of this attack for free to aid in not being hit, if you wish.
Wade will take it.
Okay. Tell me what you get, please.
Wait, do I still make the check?
Oh, you're gonna take the... Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, we got the HP to make this look real.
Wrestling's
Okay.
fake!
It's an easy one, but you get hit. And you are stabbed for 10 piercing damage.
Oh god.
Wow, for a civilian, she's got a lot.
Yeah, you strike
again-
with the Viper's Fury.
Pro wrestlers, I guess.
She wasn't
they take a
intended
lot
to
of
harm you.
injuries.
She wasn't looking like she wanted this, and she kind of like almost puts an arm to her mouth, and so do a few people around the room at this, like a little less excited at this drawn blood from you.
Wade just like gives a little cough, gives a little devilish smile. Not bad. Not bad at all.
He says falteringly, well, I'll see you in the brutal battle too, newcomer. I beat him. I'm out of here. This place is tainted by him.
Turner looks at the
you
blood
afraid-
that's kind of spilled on the ground and can't help but agree.
Ready to finish a good fight?
Gives you like a please don't shake of her head and passes turn.
You underestimate my power.
What
Crim?
damage do you do? Yeah, Crim.
Oh, is it Crim's turn now? Yeah.
Sorry.
What?
Dude, start walking away.
Yeah. Crim kind of pauses for a bit, not really sure. He's still on the ground, and then he eventually gets discreetly gets up again, shrinks. He kind of dispels his overdrive early if he can, and he just looks for a place to hide.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, I
like
need the-
under the table for a bit as he's thinking, okay, what just happened? I need to process this. I need to process this.
Okay. Cashmere.
So you said... So what happened to Devilish Stacks again? Can you remind me?
He is
Did he do the
trying but
smoke?
failing to do some smoke stuff, but he was stunned and not able to.
Okay. I did not establish this, but does Cashmere have the Cloak of Billowing on?
You never said you took it off.
Okay. As Cashmere is standing in front of this devil, with his hands on his hips, with his Cloak of Billowing in the wind, he will heroically reach up and try and grab the devil's horns off his head.
No.
Ooh. Okay, firstly, Alex gets resolved for being the first to spend economy. Something weird is happening. You get resolved for this action, Cashmere. You could roll, I'll say sleight of hand and an unarmed attack.
Okay. Sleight of hand. What's that again?
We still
That is
initiative or no?
Yeah.
Kind of.
These are both the same roll, so I'll just roll twice. Sleight of hand. Low roll.
Oh damn! I thought that was gonna be a 20.
Yeah, I just got to resolve. I'll just do that again. Why not? Better. And here comes the unarmed strike. Better. Sleight of hand 21. Attack 24.
You have advantage on the attack roll too, by the way, because he's stunned.
Okay. May as well just roll then. Okay, still 24.
Okay. You get your hand on top of him, despite him trying to weave out of the way. You grab the horns. There's a small little cracking sound that your ears catch, like glue or paint like peeling and snapping after it's been dried. And he, like, really grits his teeth and his ears fold like he's in pain. You could rip it away, you think, if you wanted to.
That'll hurt.
Would you
Oh,
allow an interruption, so to speak, to that Cashmere, or would you like to see this through?
He's going to do something with this. So, I mean, it's up to you.
Well, no, it's your turn, so it's up to you.
I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Cashmere will rip the horns off his head.
The room goes silent after a gasp. There's like some fur missing, some starting to pool blood at where these were attached to his head.
What's he doing?
They're fake horns, you can see now. Very
Alex face palms.
Cashmere will stand there with the horns above his head and will deftly swap them around to where the ends are pointed to him, and he will slowly put them on his forehead.
Oh my god.
What?
It's a devil rabbit.
The firm attention of everyone in the room, as if waiting for you to say something at the end of this gesture.
Alex is just the Captain Picard facepalm meme right now.
Wait, what did he do specifically?
He took the horns off his head, he flipped them around, and then put them on his own head. And Cashmere, with his hands up, his cloak billowing, will say, "Now I'm the devil now." It's not a very convincing way of speaking, but he does say that.
I don't know.
That was the showman.
Yeah, performance with advantage, please.
You have an item bonus in Pathfinder rules.
I believe that's just a +1, actually. Yeah, it's +1, so I'll roll that twice. Well, that's pretty dang good. I'll roll again, though. Nat 20!
26 total.
That's a 26.
Okay. The murmurs spread through the people in the booths and at the doorways. Now I am the devil now. Now I am the devil now. Yeah, wow, that's pretty cool. And there's some delayed cheers at this pronouncement.
And it's redundant.
He will, hesitantly, like, internally thinking, like, what am I doing? But he will puff out his chest and say, "I am Cashmere, the devil!"
Hey, what's up, Shadow? It's me, the devil.
The amateur announcer Orca lady is like, "Oh, seems we've got a dethroning, literally, of the horns. What is happening, folks? I have no idea." People are confused but excited by this, and I think that's all you have time for on your turn.
Yes. It is his turn. Thank you for letting me do that.
Turner.
Well, I was going to have Turner jump in and quote unquote save his save his benefactor Devil, but unfortunately that plan is no longer on the table. So he just kind of like glancing over at the other Corvus and just kind of like just shrugging.
They give you looks of recognition, but then turn their attention back to this.
So yeah, we'll let Cashmere have his moment.
Okay, Alex.
I am going to cast message on. Let's see. So there are people like all around this area, right? Pretty much.
Yes, anywhere that's past the like kind of cordoned off white map part.
Okay. See. Don't have enough movement speed. I'm gonna move over here. I'm gonna cast a message on Devilish Dax. I was like, sorry, my friends are idiots. Come over here and I'll patch you up.
Okay.
Honestly, fair.
And I think at the top of this round now is where we'll end initiative.
No,
Alright.
I can do one small thing. That's all right.
All right, what is it?
Yeah. When Wade will gesture to Cashmere and then to Devilish Dax, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, false demon. We don't need your time, as he says to Cashmere. Come on, Master, let's get out of here. As he gives like a pointed look to Devilish Dax, like as he's gonna try and fuck it. You know, we're in the city. I got this. He's going to cast Dimension Door. Well, first he's gonna see if the guy seems willing to go along with this. It's like, let's get out of here.
So you called Devilish Dax Master, just...
No, he called Cashmere Master, didn't he?
No. What?
Okay, you're calling the Tasmanian Devil guy Master.
Okay, my bad. All right.
Yeah.
Right. He's looking at Alex for some reason, and maybe Alex just casted something. He's gonna make a check.
Sanity check, right?
He looks bewildered, and just again gives kind of like Pincushion did as she walked away, a less urgent like no, his eyes are saying, even though he's got this like performative expression.
Alright.
It looks like he wants to make his way over to Alex.
Yeah, our Wade just gives a little defeated sigh. SNL.
In fairness,
Chill,
like
no.
in fairness, like a peasant fighting, a level 7 party, that would be like Call of Cthulhu for them.
He would, Pincushion would leave, but not without looking over her shoulder to make sure there's no more shenanigans. Devilish Dax would, he would say, like, oh, they'll regrow, with, like, a cavalier laugh, trying to hide a limp.
Yeah,
Approach you, Alex, and just look earnest for a moment.
no. Wade can assist with a second, we'll do first level healing word.
I was gonna do. I mean, I guess you can do that. Let's see what you.
Let's say just let Ox do his thing since he initiated this.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay.
And Cashmere will laugh in a exaggerated sort of way. But he'll say, "Ha ha 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 ha! Now the devil will flee!" And he will tap his sandals together and go invisible.
Oh!
Oh my God.
Okay, that's cool. There's definitely some gas with that.
He regains 11 HP.
11.
I'm so sorry about all of this.
He's no longer bloodied at that, and the chemostasis is achieved on his scalp. And you hear he's like no longer guarding his ribs from where Crim had hit him.
Cashmere will also
Okay.
drop the horns onto the floor next to him as he skedaddles over to the exit.
God.
Well, as they become visible, then Dax would, like, after walking, pointedly changing his direction to walk over that, he, like, scoops it with one of his feet expertly into, like, his little costume, and then finally snaps his fingers with no further words to say, and teleports out of sight with a puff of smoke. And the crowd is all murmurs. There's about 20% confusion and 80% excitement as the announcer person keeps trying to make sense of this strange twist in the story and how this rivalry has been complicated by these newcomers and their strange places they have coming from. Like, oh, this former military person, this dragon, now where did he go? Like, it's just all over the place.
We do look like wrestling characters. Like,
God, we do, don't we?
this is like late season wrestling where they like jump the shark.
Like probably like early to mid 90s, I think.
Of course you'd know that.
Of course I
Yeah.
would.
Hey,
Matilda would soon appear after this has happened and make it clear she wants to escort you the remainder of your journey out of the restaurant.
Thank you.
And as you're walking,
Cashmere,
she's like, okay.
I say, Cashmere, you got a 1/3 chance at best to beat me, but the devil doesn't even know how that doesn't even he's gonna try to go on a win, so you can cut that at to 1/15 chance. You know, yeah, like that clip of like the Bastion doing the odds.
God, yeah.
I'll show you guys later. It's pretty good.
Okay.
The bat-eared fox
You-
leans towards you, Alex, saying, "Were you all part of that? Was that intended?"
You completely and utterly misread the situation.
I knew we should have screened people if they're from out of town. I'm so sorry. We will compensate you thoroughly. Please just come back in an hour or two if you would.
Do we officially have PTSD now?
Yeah, I was about to kind of turn her. Just is she like saying this quietly to only him or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You could overhear if you're walking close to him.
Yeah, and then also have to turn to kind of say, we apologize. The world outside of this city, perhaps in it too, is there's a lot going on. We might have been conditioned for this.
Jokes on you, Crim. I've always had PTSD.
And soon enough, with a few people following you and looking like they want to ask questions, but being held back by some more seasoned-looking folks, leaving you alone to recuperate after whatever just happened, you are on the street outside of a Walk of Bows.
Real quick, what Wade would say to her, like, so, do you know him, the actor, the real devil?
Oh my god. Please do not... Where do I even start?
I wanted to be the one to do the compensation. He'll pull out 100 gold. Please just give this to him when you have a chance. You can.
Something tells me he doesn't need it. But okay. Thank you. Please do not call them actors. They really don't like that. No one around here really likes that, if they're fans. And I would advise you, if this experience was not enough, please don't be involved unless you're meant to be involved.
Sure enough. I
That has
apologize.
generally been my life's policy.
That being said, that was very interesting. I'm sure you will be talked about here for a little while.
Oh, I can't wait to hear what the
Of course.
stories regale about our escapades.
Cashmere will rematerialize off to the side, sitting down with his head in his hands. I don't know what I was doing. I'm sorry.
Well,
I believe you're what you call the heel.
Yeah,
I
Crim
just-
kind of perks up eventually and like gives Cash, out of everyone, gives Cash the most skeptical look.
I was just trying to go along with it, and then I just...
Oh, you went along, all right.
I sure did.
Oh, and for a copper and for a gold, as they say.
I think we're down to platinum from that one.
She makes some hasty, polite excuse, and says she might be able to explain further once the event hours are over, and makes her leave.
What if we schedule a very embarrassing loss on our end to those people?
Oh, we don't need to schedule we don't need to schedule our own embarrassment, Wade.
Oh, I should have given a fake name.
Crim, like once most people are like not necessarily paying attention to them, Crim kind of just murmurs to himself, I only spent like 1 year as a dragon. I need to spend 399 more of them remembering this.
We're a bit too used to blood on the floor, I suppose.
Yeah, conditioned, as I said.
As you're talking, you would all hear the quiet close of a door. Not the main doors to the Walk of Boast, but 20 feet away on street level rather than the stairs up to the front doors. Like a employee or maintenance door is being closed. And you would see a group of 4 corvids, 2 uplifted ravens and 2 crows are kind of talking off to the side. And these are some of the ones who are observing what just happened. The raven is the one who just kind of closed the door from somewhere beneath the restaurant. And now they're in a huddled, a tactical discussion almost after what just happened.
They seem to be kind of observing us, or...
No.
They're going to come with us with a big briefcase full of money. We want to make a deal.
If you guys could give me a minute, it's been a while since I've spoken to anyone outside from Dynamo and what was the other one's name, Tal?
Piper.
Alex is going to just go anywhere where he is not immediately the first thing people see when they walk out of the restaurant.
Okay, it's easy to lose yourself in the crowd.
Okay. Then yeah, Tyrion would kind of slowly make his way in their direction, giving them time to finish whatever discussion they're having.
Okay. When they notice you approach, they actually start making their way towards you and the party at large. But what they had been saying as you're approaching is, one's like, "This Miblib looks no worse for the wear after that match." One other one says, "You ran a diagnostic with Scano's handheld tool too?" "Yep, and I think we can move on to mass deployment per the contract." And the other one says, "Good stuff. Nice work, all." And they all do some good-natured cawing and head bobbing in the same way that people might high five in our world.
They're all wearing black turtlenecks.
No, it's normal clothes, I guess, street clothes. You start to recognize them. The 2 older ones are named Gearlock and Flux, and the 2 younger-looking ones are named Need Event and Spice Boy.
Need
Spice
event?
Yes, Need Event.
That's sus.
I'm much just about Spice Boy, Jesus Christ.
Would he know them by those names, or would he even know those names?
You would know them all by those names.
So they probably had them for a while then. I take it you didn't have anything to do with that performance we just partake in?
I'll say Spice Boy. What a great name.
What a
Spice
great
Boy
name.
would say, "Oh hey, it's you. Yeah, well, we're sort of behind the scenes. There's a work contract. You weren't meant to be in that, were you?"
Oh, we were they call it improving.
"I thought it was cool." And Need Event also nods, whereas Gearlock and Flux are looking almost sternly at you, and one says, That was a magical ability you produced. It's sort of out of line with, how we feel at the brouhaha, isn't it?
I suppose it is.
You were doing this. You had no place. Why? What are you even doing here? Near.
He's kind of like takes a bit of a breath. Well, we see someone with horns, either attacking, getting attacked by someone who with the look of death on her face. In what did he call it? The hallowed grounds. Yeah, perhaps a bit prematurely we spring into action to try to ease the tension.
Takes a quick glance at Crim's horns.
Oh, yeah. He looks like he's about to say something
Crim doesn't notice.
derisive. Then Need Event, the other younger one, looks like he used to be a friend of Spice Boy. They're friends, you would recall. He steps in saying, "We thought it was really neat. Not too much magic happening in SHL." When he says the words SHL, or the acronym SHL, the two older ones roll their eyes simultaneously. One's like, "It's just a fad." It's so stupid. It's all just smoke and mirrors. And Spiceway looks past you and waves to any of you guys who are still lingering, not seeing Alex at least. Says, "Hey, did you guys enjoy it too?"
Crim just grins nervously and approaches.
Kismer still has his head in his hands. He groans loudly.
He's super glad that they probably won't attempt any conversation with him at this point. He's still trying to process what just happened.
I'd call it a bell curve of enjoyment.
Wow.
Flux would say, she's like, "I think we're generally in the brouhaha on the part of the bell curve that is saying we want some peace and quiet and move on to some other projects."
And so you joined this.
Well, we are working... Sorry.
You're the ones who developed that proof of smoke teleportation thing he was using?
No, I think that was magic. We have a device, the Miblib, more bark, less bite, and it prevents unfortunate accidents in the areas of combat. I think it would have triggered if things had gone on a bit more than that. Says, glaring at you, Crim.
Crim's eyes bug out.
Oh, it's good that there's at least some assurance. But in any case, it's a pleasure to meet you all. We've heard much of your folk. I suppose if you have the time, we mean to look into this phenomenon we've heard of called resonance.
Sorry, that's just unexpected.
I don't
Really?
believe they're...
Unexpected?
Wait, I don't believe they're the ones that you'd want to ask.
True enough.
From what I recall, they approved of that about as much as they approved of my own decisions.
Oh my god, hang on. I need to make a fucking meme out of that.
They look like they recognize the term. I'm afraid, says Flux, we have a contract we're working on here from SHL organizers. There are some of our number who are involved in the study and usage of that strange substance. Is it fair to even call it that? It's very intriguing, isn't it? But you'd have to go see the main caravans, edge of town. We could take you there if you... And then he looks at you, Turner, and just stops talking. Or she looks at you and stops talking.
If the need arises, I think we can find our way there. I don't know if that will be necessary.
Fair enough.
But
Oh, I suppose not.
although if you, I imagine you've been out of these walls in the last few months. He's gonna say that with a question mark.
Oh. Yeah. She nods. And before she could say anything else from her beak, Spice Boy and Need Event, who had been kind of crowding around Cashmere, ready to ask him questions, but politely waiting for a break in the conversation, are like, oh yeah, we've been all over, but we are freaking glad we're stopping here to see SHL hit the spotlight, become a phenomenon. It's going to be global.
Oh,
That was really cool. I thought the web you did, and I don't know, he was teleporting. It's sweet.
To actually just feel like a little bit more upbeat to actually hear some support, but he's well, if you don't mind me asking, would you and the rest of the caravans know of anything about the anomalies that have been occurring around the continent?
Gearlock, the other older one who'd been pretty quiet, would
You mean
say,
Neville?
yes, we have seen some of these firsthand. We try, as you know our ways, to not get caught up in it, directly involved, sidetracked. There's work to do, ideas to generate. And what we've seen of them is only destructive and dangerous. There's not anything here regarding time-themed anomalies, save for that, which I'm sure you will see soon enough if you stay here longer than 5 minutes.
Well, I've heard about the craze, though the only craze that I've seen so far is SHL.
Yeah. The two younger ones are like nodding eagerly. One of them is about to say something, and then Need Event clamps his beak and is like, no, let them experience the magic without being spoiled, buddy. And they like nod at each other like, oh yeah.
Fingers crossed, do not break kayfabe ever. That's a deep cut.
Well, we've got to go report on the success of this to our employers, the contract, and maybe we'll see you around.
I'll probably be in town for at least a few days.
They nod and politely excuse themselves, but as three of them head off, Flux, the older woman, turns and like grabs your shoulder, Turner, and says, do not come here to fill the Brouhaha's mind with magic and those strange... Certainly don't mention that school, Ogma University. Understand? Please.
I suppose I should bring a change of clothes.
If you must visit, I will be looked upon well by those who've been with the Brouhaha longer and aren't caught up in these fads.
Well, I'm not looking to change anyone's ways.
I want to have Cashmere speak up here. He will walk over. He's been kind of just sitting off to the side for most of this. He'll walk over here and say, yeah, you wouldn't want to end up like a devil like me. And he gives a grin at the other bird.
Please. She like half smiles, but it's like a polite smile, like I'm supposed to smile.
Cringe smile.
It's better the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Yeah, you should go catch up with your other friends. Maybe we'll see you later. Maybe you'll see me. There's another grin.
She just stares at you. Okay. And walks away.
As she does, the grin will fade and he'll look back to Turner. Why are all the people you know nerds?
You could say it's the culture.
Yeah, birds of a feather.
He
Those
just
ones are
gives you-
worse.
He just gives you like an unimpressed look.
Is that your retirement plan, Cashmere?
I hope not.
I hope so.
Well, I think you'll have the acrobatics for whatever you would call this.
Maybe, maybe you did have a good point. Maybe I should get some new clothes. I don't want to stand out.
Turner, your friends seem arcanophobes. If that's the word for it. Is that common in the Brouhaha?
They tend to prefer scientific ventures over. He kind of gestures down to his robes.
Different ways for the same means. They mentioned your name was Near. Is that no Brouhaha name?
I think he mentioned that before, didn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
He'll kind of
jumbled.
just refresh them. Yeah. As I've said before, we don't get our true names or our Brouhaha names until we make some sort of a contribution. I had yet to get mine before leaving, and well, my friends helped me pick my new name. They probably wouldn't recognize it.
Well, the best is yet to come.
I imagine me being at the top of my field would mean very little.
To them, at least. Perhaps they could help with our chronological problems.
Well, that depends if they want to actually do anything to get involved this time. From what I recall, during the Outclassed invasion, it was like pulling claws trying to get them to do anything.
There'll be blood on the floor one way or another, I guess.
So, me breaking from the tribe to go and learn about my innate abilities, as well as getting involved in this potentially catastrophic series of events. It'll be a fun reunion.
I'm quite familiar with those.
I mean, I don't know that we need to go and see them at all, do we?
Well, if anything, they would have a lot of knowledge that others who spend all their times in these city walls might not, but maybe we don't.
Do you want to? Genuine question.
A person or two.
Okay. Up to you.
And with that, your conversation is suddenly interrupted by two things, one of which is a break.
Oh, wow.
A break.
Wow.
BRB.
BRB.
Made it halfway.
See you
We
soon.
did it. We're live.
We're live.
Welcome
Oh, no.
back to Beasts in the SHL. I'm Tal.
Wait. Oh no.
So,
He's in the SHL and the USA.
this crow conversation has just ended. Do I have a theme for this? I should have. That would have been funny. Oh well. Let's go back to this music. Someone has recently burst out of the front doors of the Walk of Bos. It is a weasel woman. She is flanked closely by an uplifted elephant and uplifted ibis, who are wearing very fine clothes with dark tinted spectacles that hide their eyes from you. She looks wildly left and right, notices you, and strides swiftly up to you. She's tall, or maybe she's just thin. I mean, she's a weasel. And she says,
There's a long torso.
She not put upwards a deal. Oh no.
let me get this right, one sec, I had to feel the accent.
It's like in
Try and mute
dodgeball
it
when you
and
have to-
then do it.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh, no.
Okay. I'll do it badly, oh well. Gotta be able to laugh
Oh,
at
well.
up in D&D, right? She says, Hey, you aren't part of that match, were you? You don't have a contract. What are you doing here?
We weren't at the start. To be frank, from out of town, there was not guardrails installed, the area was not sectioned off, and usually in our experience, when that happens, there's blood on the floor. So, we...
Usually.
Yes. Thing
You
from
saw
there,
some people fighting and thought you'd just start beating the crap out of them? Glares at you, Crim. Get your dragon out of the town, come on!
We were just going to subdue them, and we're going to kill them. You don't do that.
What happens again? Are you going to stay out of SHL matches for your own safety? Or are you going to pretend to be heroes again, huh?
We didn't
personally,
make it,
I'll stay. Sorry, go on.
we didn't make it a plan to interrupt whatever this performance is that you have orchestrated.
Look, we thought somebody was genuinely getting attacked.
Hello, Cashmere, is that your intention? I mean, they're right here.
What? He gives Wade a weird look. What do you mean? What?
I think he was scouting for an opportunity, actually. Trying to make a name for himself. Cashmere the Devil.
Oh.
You
Her
heard
head
it yourself.
tilts.
Now he is the devil now.
Her head tilts and she's suddenly speaking very differently. Oh, hey, does that mean you have interest? There's a new storyline happening soon. We're in the rising action.
No, absolutely not.
You got no. You said we thought someone was in trouble or something. That's like a hero angle. You think different. You're from outside the city.
Indeed we are. Well, would it have to be this season? Could it be next season?
No. Because right now, people from all sorts, from way outside the city. I mean, we don't have plans yet for people like you. We could write you in as the mercenaries, the adventuring buddies. I don't know, get you some new outfits, draw up some interest in the public. We could see if it sticks. I will see if your little catchphrase sticks, Mr. Rabbit.
We might want to workshop.
I'm not gonna stick with that. I'm not doing this. What?
Now
That was a
I am the
fluke.
devil now? That's liquid gold.
It was improv. I'm not doing this. I just didn't want to ruin everything, okay?
So you pulled off his horns in front of everybody?
That wouldn't have made it worse.
Yeah, I think there's still potential in this, but right now we need to deal with the actual blood on the floor.
An uplifted couple of penguins leaves the restaurant, like holding in both hands their like 8-year-old between them, and she's saying, "The devil now! Yeah, now I'm the devil now!"
Her face palms.
Yeah,
Grim just stares at Cashmere with a dumb grin. It's hard to tell if he's genuine or mocking him.
Cashmere, that kid is horrendously ill. You have to visit in the hospital.
She chuckles at that, and like as you're like, "I told you so." She looks at you, Alex, is like, "Hey, if you're not interested, don't come, right? But this is big. You guys probably just got here, which is why you did that. You don't know how big it is just yet. But don't miss the prize. Your name chanted by crowds, their sons singing songs about you. It's making history." It's called the Storied Histories League for a reason.
Well,
Oh.
that's better than what I thought it stood for.
Well, for Thomas Red Brother have history, forget my name. That's neither here nor there.
Alright.
We'll push the offer again. At least for me, it had to be later. Yeah, we're a bit busy right now.
Yeah, sure. I get
Grim,
it.
during this conversation, it kind of slipped behind someone. It looks like he's like quickly bringing out a pen and paper while they're not looking to write down something. Then eventually he comes back out and passes a note just with his mother's name on it and a question mark, wondering if anyone recognizes it in this place.
And I'm guessing, did you write the 2-syllable name or the 4-syllable name?
The 4-syllable, just in case. Okay. Whatever her stage name would have been, if there is one, actually.
Okay. He would look at it. She would look at it. I think your dragon's confused.
I don't know.
This doesn't mean anything to me.
I suppose you haven't seen
disappointed and shrugged.
Suppose you haven't seen anyone with that name around.
Oh, I think I've heard of her. She's, I don't know. It's SHL time now, baby.
Well, don't you have a halftime performance?
We do have one group lined up for the brutal battle, and then there's the shiny showdown that's happening beforehand. I don't know. I'll have to check. I'm a manager. I recruit. I'm not like the head honcho. I can touch base with them. Why? Do you have a connection?
You could say that. We were trying to just find out where she might be.
Crim raises one paw and makes like a little orchestral gesture, and birdsong plays, and then he grins.
That's cute. He's a fan. Yeah, well, hey, if you know her or something, she's a pretty big name, I think. Make things happen if that's your clause for being involved in this. Yeah, whatever. I'm a busy woman. I've probably got to get going. She looks at the elephant, who nods. If you do feel interested at some point, gives a pointed glance at you, Cashmere. Where am I going to be tonight? Let me check. She is handed a notebook swiftly by the ibis and looks at it. Right, the Restless Raccoon Inn. I'm leaving after sunup tomorrow. It's at the north part of town. Meet me there if you want.
Understood.
We'll put it in our notes.
I will think about it. And he leans over to Turner. I'm not going to think about it.
You could have ended that after the fourth word.
Well, enjoy the rise of SHL. I've got to meet more with the potential stars outside of town and see who will be having their name in lights. See ya!
See you on, good sir.
It's a woman, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Ma'am!
We use a little silence up a smoke. Those damn koi hunters have been taking our levity from us.
Do you think they actually do anything? Or do they just perform?
Imagine there's
There's like there's like a little bit of a tiny bit of hope in his voice in a way. Or like expectations, I guess.
I imagine they'd have some athletic talent with what they do. Seems like the trick is to make it look as real as they can without actually hurting each other.
Yeah, but do they actually, help people?
Oh, that child seemed excitable.
I imagine about as much help as dodgeball does. It can bring a lot of life to a place that might otherwise be quite dull.
People need
Seems like the type
symbols.
of person who'd been traumatized by dodgeball back when he was still a normal kid.
People need symbols up front, and then people like us in the back to do the wet work.
Right.
Austin, who's been so quiet as to be almost mistaken for being absent, now speaks up.
He's just a good boy.
I thought it was pretty cool. Got silk to sell though, so we said we'd get to Karifi and see how things were. Doesn't seem too crazy.
Some
I'll
people
set up shop.
Some people might need some new costumes after one of them was destroyed.
That's a good point.
Only you husband can look at all that and say it's not too crazy.
She told you where she would be in the morning. Might be able to make a
Oh,
few sales.
Oh, you mean to her? Yeah, I'll see. Maybe people are, they do this with sports teams and like they'll dress up like their favorites. Those fans, maybe there is a clothing boom right now. Maybe there's new costume stores popping up. We'll see.
I believe they call that merchandising.
That's it.
I mean, we got through this. We fought on a damn play. We don't even have a team name.
I, for one, intend to keep it that way.
I respect that.
Well,
Now
enjoy
that they're mostly alone again, Crim will just remark, "Well, I think we could probably use one at this point."
I would say enjoy the anonymity while you can, because it won't be too long before we make ourselves known. Apparently by accident.
We have to be
Apparently.
careful about our time powers if we do that, though. Then again, I wonder if being out in the open might make it harder for people to notice us with the time power part.
Huston's like leading you, walking towards more of the city at this point.
Yeah, as amusing as this has been, we can't afford to get too absorbed in doing it. Still have a job to do.
Well, we still haven't found too much info here. That's what we really need to do.
Yeah, supposedly
We need to find a map of this place is what we need to do.
That counts as info.
apparently there's some sort of a craze here, and which we should stumble upon just at any moment.
Oh, right.
I think we just did.
Well,
Huh.
something a bit less performative.
No, didn't you hear them? They said that there wasn't anything timed like that except this, right? Unless they were talking about... No, I'm not sure.
I don't believe
Do
it
you
was
think any-
related.
Do you think any of the Koi Hunters became SHL fighters?
Oh, they probably have.
I don't know, I can think of more harmful occupations.
You're looking around, Turner, for other crazes, maybe other leads. I'm sure you're all looking around in your turn, but you, Turner, would note on various street corners, on lamp posts, there's posters with costumed performers depicted. They're like plastered over notices and apartments for sale, and if there's any craze here, it is SHL and the folks who are participating in it. You see a few for Devilish Dax, not so many for Pincushion, and all sorts of folks you don't recognize.
Oh, now that I think about it, do we see any posters of a more draconic theme?
Yeah. I think we did it before and we didn't find anything.
But here's where
That
we
might
actually
change.
thought the posters might be
I
located.
swear, Cole, if you got yourself wrapped up in this.
You haven't looked here for posters, but when you start looking for anything draconic, yes, something does jump
Oh, dear.
out at you.
Do you want a new life?
Funny you should say that.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
Direct your gaze to Foundry, if you wish.
Look!
You see a few of these flyers, and they seem recent enough because they're competing for space with all the SHL stuff.
Oh,
The flyer. Here's a second to render in.
Yeah, it's loading. Hold on.
Is it still loading? Oh no.
No,
No,
it's done
loaded.
now.
Into small, permanently transform people into small feral dragons. They're honest. I'll give them that much.
Successful prototype will be present. Wow, they just either they got another one or they anticipated Crim finding his way here.
What's this world coming to?
Successful prototype, huh?
God, the Make-A-Wish has really come a long way.
Fucked up.
Like, yeah. You either see
First day
your
of summer.
favorite SHL wrestler or become a dragon.
What day is it right now? It's still spring, right?
You might ask Huston, he would say today, if he's not mistaken, is the 19th day of the 3rd spring moon.
Oh, that's real close.
Yeah, I'll be into summer in a couple weeks.
Okay, Crim is looking at this, and he almost scoffs as he says, "Advertising what I spent my life trying to not die from?
Surprised there's no
How did
fine
I even
print.
do this? Well, I guess if I was able to do it in my own place, it should be possible. Karifi of all places, but we have to look at this, don't we? I mean, look at it. Well, I have to at least.
Yeah, I mean, we could all become dragons. Why not? Maybe it'll help
Really?
me.
You've turned your head. You've turned around on that.
He looks kind of guilty. No, I'm joking.
Oh,
God. So
he
you don't want,
deflates again.
so you don't already want to shed your identity after our last little incident?
I thought about it for like
Well,
a few
it's not so much
seconds.
Shedding is just, getting a new body, which I guess you'll be harder to recognize.
I could just like leave the city. I don't need to do that. I've done it my whole life.
Some things you can't leave behind.
I can leave the devil behind, Wade.
But will the devil leave you behind?
He better.
I think I see him on your shoulder. Spring.
Cashmere doesn't look.
But in any case, so we've not the means to get Scroocha nor chase the bronze, so I'm up to investigate this.
As Crim is looking at this a little longer, though, a few of the specifications are pinging him as curious. Can I roll some kind of check on some of the requirements being presented and correlating it to any things that he might remember from when he was prepping for the ritual of what he still remembers?
Sure, you could.
One of the
roll
thing in
rather
particular, something's weird about the within 2 years and 3 months thing, and yeah, just mostly that one. But yeah,
Okay, actually, investigation, please. And by the way, the credits for this lovely piece of art will be in the credits of this video and our Discord.
Oh.
okay. And also keeping mind and speech intact, because one thing he did lose was his ability to speak in high chirp. That was unfortunate.
Hmm.
Investigation only a 15.
15. You think back to some of these titles that you had checked out and are gone now, as well as the knowledge you had at some point. Their titles were, by the way, I've determined they would have been Arithmancy, Associations of Our Deities, and Dragons of the Other Place would have been the 3 most heavily referenced tomes in those old religion sections.
Makes sense.
You're not really gathering a big connection between the criteria you remember and the criteria that are on this poster. They seem oddly specific and like disconnected from what you think would be reasonable. It's like the criteria for the sake of them, or like persons being overly neurotic, or like there's a very specific way it'll work and it has to be in these criteria. It's just sort of strange.
Yeah, Crim will quietly murmur some of this before eventually saying, I wonder if this person was just as lost as I was. Maybe they're just trying to figure out things that worked and just rule things out when they happen to fail for other reasons.
I mean,
Well, either way, if we don't have information on anyone else, this is a good way to bide some time, I guess.
Perhaps
I think
there are
the reason there are so many specific criteria is the high probability that this goes horribly wrong.
Oh, well, I mean, if they're
And
already
the-
dying, I get that part, but why, for example, 2 years and 3 moons? Why so specific? If they want to get someone who's definitely dying, why not someone older? After all, I'm pretty sure I reset based on when I did what I looked up for this ritual, at least what I deduced from it. It's all strange. Why risk someone who's so young if they're not, well, they're dying. I guess that does make sense. That was me.
Did you have any other thoughts there, Doc, that you were adding on to?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah, I thought he was done.
Okay.
First day of summer, so if we go now, they won't be open, but, well, if they see me, they might be more willing.
The question is, are they expecting you?
Well,
Another prototype.
I don't know that I would consider Crim a prototype. He's, as far as I can tell, exactly what they're trying to achieve. I don't know if we want whoever is behind this to know of his existence or not.
Out of character, quick question. Like, wouldn't that be like, would he be the successful prototype, or do I just not understand the meaning of that word?
I think prototype means like proof of concept, but not the real thing. It's like the alpha version of something, whereas Alex is basically saying that Crim is the 1.0. Like, he is what the end product is intended to be. Prototype is, yeah, it kind of works.
I see.
But
just
maybe
for
it's
transparency from my point of view, my interpretation of prototype would be, yeah, it could be a proof of concept, but it could also be a, wow, this does work very well. So I guess it depends on how good the prototype is.
And also prototype could also mean like it is what it's supposed to be, but it was also like crazy expensive to do or not cost effective for mass production, stuff like that.
Crim.
There are lots of That's true. Crim's was a hefty cost.
Yeah, so I think Crim could very well be what the successful prototype is. Especially if he's getting like dreams telling him to go here. So like,
no, it said to go northwest, which could have been northwest of Bose or northwest of where we are. So Karifi is distinctly central, I believe, but it could be northwest of where we were. But yeah, I remember
where we were. So I think it's very possible this is him. Was all I'm saying.
Yeah. If I were to guess, wager, whoever made this poster is probably going to die in 2 years and 3 moons.
Hang on, I might be an idiot. Let me double check. One important. Holy crap! I clicked on it so many times. Oh no, we're all stupid. Kara is northwest.
So, if you were going to die in 2 years and 3 moons, you wouldn't ask for someone who's going to die in 4 years because they might insist on waiting 3.
Well, that's true, but well, it did take me a while to get the ritual ready. I guess that makes sense if they want their subjects to be alive for a while.
Yeah, my guess is someone's trying to achieve immortality, and is asking for lab rats as close to themselves as possible, so it'll work.
Wow, you
immortality?
You are making quite a leap there.
I still age. Well, unless they can do it again.
How long do dragons live?
Well, from the books I remember, they live for a while, but I'm not really a true dragon, I think. So, from my research, I only be a few...
Too, if you
what?
People can roll nature checks to make sense too of that.
Oh, Crim was talking about other place dragons.
Also, little side note, like, I figure, like, wouldn't it say, like, unless you're gonna die on set dates? Because presumably it's gonna exist for longer than a month. And
what?
Maybe this is information we can have when we actually go and talk to them. So
that is a good
too
point,
much.
though. Yeah. But after consulting with the map, Crim will finally remark, oh, wait! Kara. That is northwest of all of Bose. Also pretty far away. It'd take the whole summer to get there. I mean, not the whole summer. It'd take all the way until we get to summer to reach there at this point. We have to go all the way through Apex Woods.
How many days left will we have until then?
It's the 19th of the third moon of spring, which means that we have about... The doors will open
12 days.
in summer. And how do I reopen it? I actually X'd out to look at the map.
Oh, I'll reopen it.
You can
So it's
also put
12
Discord.
days until summer, but summer lasts obviously 90 days
3
in this
months.
world.
Tell a question. Would anyone happen to know about a certain secret or underground transportation system originating from Karifi that connects to other parts of the world?
You could roll
my
a history
God.
check.
There's no way.
Alright, so
This is how we unlock fast travel.
that's worth a try. Fuck, no.
Ah,
Shot.
low rolls. Hits again.
The roll that changes the entire campaign direction.
You would know that there's the famous pipeline that goes from Karifi to somewhere near Ruiko in the northeast that the heroes of the Song of Bos used in the final hour. Surely that's what you're thinking of, that one pipeline.
So, and it didn't turn into like a full subway system in 50 years, did it?
Yeah, I guess you should have
No,
asked
Starter.
not that you're aware of.
Yeah, alright, well, I guess, would Wade be aware of his own ignorance at this point?
I don't think you could
I
work
just
it that
told
way.
you what you know, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, it probably would have been a good idea to like poke someone else who's proficient to make the roll,
Yeah.
but too late.
Ah, shit, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just, my advice. Like, yeah.
Well, I remember that the vision told us gotta head northwest. There was before summer. He glances at Cash and Alex. Does kind of seem suspicious now, doesn't it?
It never
now
hasn't.
it does. Now it does.
I don't recall. Did the dream you had specifically tell you about a time frame?
Said that summer was the time of change, and to do so then.
Did
Kind of lines up with this flyer, doesn't it?
Did it want you to arrive there before?
Tal, can you remind me on that one? Was it before or at?
It really didn't voice, she didn't imply a timeline or a pressure, just like, oh yeah, vaguely, summer, head northwest.
Yeah, summer was important. Okay.
Okay, so we'll have a little bit of time.
Yeah, I don't really know. Just summer. So I guess we still have time for Karifi at least.
And Huston would say, hey, if we left today, we'd be there even before summer. That's when it's only about to open, so...
That's true.
As much as
Besides, No, you first.
as much as I want to help you with this, Crim, there are some things I would like to do here while we have the time.
No, you're right. Be a bit of a waste to only spend a day in Karifi of all places. There's so much information we can get.
Yeah.
I agree with that at least.
It would have made our lives a lot easier if this dragon maker had settled in Sandswens, but so it goes.
Yeah, I wonder how many districts have been open since the last time that I've been here. It's a slow work in progress, getting this city piece by piece to the former glory that it was before the scatter.
Yep. I wanted to ask, what are those lines on our map? Those little dotted lines.
Knots.
Is that a Wade or Bugle asking?
I'll say,
Yes.
like, he's slowly connecting the dots. He's asking.
Okay.
I mean, those are probably like very common trade routes or something, right?
Huston would say they're major trade routes,
Ah, gotcha.
and they tend to coincide with roads or well-traveled shipping lanes and such.
Turner would ask, well, if we're trying to get to, first of all, do you know which part of, which region in Eckhorah this place is? I closed the flyer, so I don't know the city.
History is today's check of choice, everyone.
Okay, I'll go ahead and roll then since I'm asking. Actually, Doc, if you can do this, I'm just kidding. Ooh, that's only a 10. Screw it, I'll burn it. 18.
I will say,
Denver Wadi.
if Doc did want to roll, he would have advantage, actually, for some reason.
Oh, shit.
But
Well,
what was
I
the
already-
result, Doc?
My,
Or,
after burning my resolve, I got an 18 total.
Okay. You don't know. Sounds like it fits the general languages used in Kara. You're not sure what a wadi is, if that's even a thing, or if it's someone's name.
Huh.
It's not anywhere
okay.
famous.
Can I see if I recognize the name?
Sure.
History, you said?
Yes.
Guidance myself on this.
Creamsicle.
He's being a kitty cat girl.
Kimchi.
Kitty.
Oh, like slashing the thing. That's so cute.
She likes to attack your blinds.
Advantage on this. Wow, I am getting Garbo results. We're going to resolve this.
I think you have advantage, right, don't you?
Yes, and I still rolled Garbo.
Oh.
Got a nat 3 with advantage.
Damn.
Gonna burn resolve.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, that's a little better. That's a 15.
Oof.
15. I'm afraid you would have access to the same info that Turner does. Although to you, it does sound kind of familiar. Maybe you've heard that once or twice.
All right. Well, I get this back on a short rest. Alex, I need to direct your mind on this.
Do it for me. I have the higher roll.
Just kidding.
All right.
Turner, can you recommend?
Sorry, for trying
Yeah,
for success, I want to. Yeah, I have an 18. He has a 15, so better use on me.
All right. Take your D8.
Okay. Please be a good roll. 2, so 20.
20 is the DC!
I did something.
A wadi refers to a dry ravine or canyon, like a dried up river or something that would be full of water in the rainy season. As for Stenger, that is referring to a specific wadi in the area. Sounds... You've heard of it, but it's not a place of note to your knowledge. It'd be like, oh, here's this local mountain range, or here's this valley, like just as a geographic reference point. But there's nothing there that you've ever learned about.
Would you want to point towards the map, or?
Yeah. You would know it's right here, I indicate to you, but I haven't decided exactly the very specific point just yet. But you know where it is.
Well, okay. Then at the late to answer this question, Turner's trying to ask Huston, would it be more efficient to take like the northern Greyfew Plains and travel through Apex Woods, or to take the Lake Limni boat and then go northeast from Stem Route?
This place is in eastern Kara. I'd say really it'd probably be equidistant. Maybe a little faster to go through Apex Woods.
Okay.
But we never went to STEM route list.
He would say definitely go through Apex. Just kidding. I get back to the rougher terrain and not as much travel through it, so it would be slow going. But you
But
have a safe
wolves
route to the west.
and tigers.
Oh my.
Yeah. Also, guys, there might be like a glider surface here that we could look into.
And we can have like a pseudo battle, but not really.
The unexpected shmup section.
Yeah.
Well, we could say a few hours are spent with Huston getting an easily accessible permit for a few districts to set up shop. And true to your prediction, Turner, yeah, there's a great need for clothing, raw materials right now, and he's able to spin up some deal about, swamp silk being used for these costumes will give you extra pliability so it fits all ages better. And starts selling stuff, asking for those who aren't doing other things to maybe help guard the wagons, because there's always going to be pickpockets and muggers no matter where you go in a big city.
Pickpocket, guard your purses.
Also a metagame thing, you would be able to purchase magic scrolls levels 1 through 2 here, which is not how it always has been in Bose, but now these things are better understood and sort of mass copied.
Okay.
Good.
Then yeah, I guess while they're in town, Turner's next point would be to try to find out where his friends might be. They said follow the craze, which apparently
Those friends.
which apparently is wrestling.
Okay. Well, there'd be advertisements for various SHL events. You would note one that is supposed to be happening at 7 p.m. at some museum.
Oh god, they're gonna destroy all the displays. Oh, maybe that's like the shtick is like, oh, they've come to steal these priceless artifacts. We gotta stop them.
They make some like stages, like displays out of like sugar glass.
Okay. Then, yeah, Turner, I guess we'll try to see about attending one of those or finding someone he can ask questions to.
Okay.
How much time do we expect to have in town?
I imagine at least a few days. I don't know. I guess it depends on what business we get involved in.
Yeah, I'll say up to you right now how much you want to spend. Huston would want to spend probably at least 2 days here, maybe 2 months here, but there might be some things that happen that might mess up long-term planning, I'll say.
What I was planning was just going to take 3 days.
Is it like crafting of some sort?
Yeah.
Wait, will be content to get a brief reprieve, chill.
I mean, I guess if I could just buy it.
I'll have Cashmere go with Turner. He's not interested in joining this whole thing, but he is curious to know more of how it works.
Oh yeah, he's just going to he's just here to read the articles.
Yeah, totally.
You know, ironic that he's a bunny.
Oh yeah.
Okay. There's plenty of time to get stuff done during the day, and then evening falls. There's a pretty good nightlife here. There's always stuff to do. Are you all splitting up, or are other people wanting to check this out too?
Leave that up to them.
Yeah, I don't know that I necessarily have a particular interest in nightlife.
Hey Todd, I've got a quick brouhaha question. Would Turner think that like it would be a good strategic move to have what's his name, Husson, like maybe try to sell some equipment to them, or would that just be like, oh really, you're coming back and you're trying to get money from us or something like that? So they always use materials, but
You have a feeling the baseline of your reception there by almost everyone will be negative. As for the gesture of bringing Huston to sell silk, if it was in good faith, yeah, it seems like a decent gesture.
okay. Yeah, he would just run it by them if they do go to meet them. Hey, it might be a potential rare sale.
He would consider that. He's kind of like in business mode right now, shrewdly calculating. He's like, well, you could ask them to come here if you want. I mean, this is where I've got everything set up, but if it's important to you, and you think they would be willing, so they're on the edge of town, I could go with you, sure.
Okay, we'll put a pin on that for now, but yeah.
Okay.
Actually, how close are we to Lake Limney?
The Walk of Boast was nearly a lakeside restaurant.
Yeah, I was about to say probably very close if we're in that area still.
There are parts of town that are in there, right?
Yes, Heather Walk is a partially submerged district.
I
Otters
might see if I
everywhere.
can ask around for any news from some of those folks.
Any news from the other provinces of Bos?
Anything they've heard anything about weird time powers around here, or if they happen to know anything about this weird poster that we found or anything like that.
You find a clownfish guy, and as you talk to him, your face is it's kind of like zoom in suddenly on him, and he locks eyes with you. Have you heard of the high squirrels? And after that, he would say, in regards to time powers, he would tell you something. I'll DM you.
I'm waiting to a new district and it's just like 5 different separate people just fighting each other for no reason. Let's get this over with.
We just dealt with something like that.
This ends here.
Why?
That's what you'd
won't
hear about the
you
Time Masters,
die?
Doc. Oops, I didn't say anything. The time powers. As for the poster, so like, yeah, I've seen it, but that's a weird request. Sounds dodgy. I'm not gonna go. Like, he's not interested.
What sounds dodgy?
This dragon ritual out in the side.
Evolution poster.
Hell yeah. Listen to the strange man behind the back alley saying he'll be a dragon.
Hey, you want to be a dragon?
So good. Hey, I'd buy it.
Oh my god.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah. Well, I guess Wade would probably just guard the caravan. He had a little interest in like researching a bit more on like how to defeat the Scrooge time powers. If there's anywhere else that will have knowledge, it's here. But he's not much of a researcher. So.
I mean, Crim could help with that if... Yeah, Crim's not really sure what he wants to do yet, because he's kind of just passively listening for information about the song Stress and all that. And until then, he'd probably just help with research on other things so he can feel productive. And he knows he doesn't want to like go out alone yet, because people will probably give him looks like, oh, someone's stray is wandering the streets.
There's a weird cat outside.
So
Weird
Wade can jump in.
scaly cat. So yeah, Crim will, if Wade obliges, Wade can be his handler and he'll help out with research from there. So that'll help you.
God,
I'm quite get used to this.
he's like
You
just
would
like a
vote-
sub in search of a dom.
Oh no.
You search your feelings, Wade, for how to defeat this guy. You might try to do some research, talk to some folks, maybe inquire with the local militia, the Strong of Bos. But you would come to realize you kind of have the most experience and authority on this topic. Like, your tactics in battle and the way you help your allies out and stuff, you don't know if you're going to get any special insight from talking to other people about what you yourself witnessed.
At the very least, there might be some merit to informing the Strong of Bos of this dangerous murderer. To like either watch out or be prepared.
Be prepared.
And if the first night passes, Wade will just cast another setting to Scrooge. Hey, also wake up.
See,
You are
what
so
we have
petty.
to do is we need to get all of the Strong of Bos and place them uniformly in a 200-foot radius circle. We lure him to the center.
Actually, we could potentially hit him with a dream spell. Wade's kind of giving me that idea if we like spam dream over the course of several nights and just prevent him from ever being able to sleep.
God.
He just
Jesus.
rewinds to a point where he's rested or some shit.
Maybe if he turns into a dragon, he won't have the power anymore.
Oh no, then we'll just have a dragon with time powers. That's the one thing that hasn't happened yet.
But a
Sending
small
him
feral
yet.
dragon.
Sending him the PNG of the flyer, and he's like, where'd you get this? I want to be a dragon.
I'll give up anything for it, even my time powers.
Yeah.
That's his secret.
Oh.
Oh, for all his powers, he was a scaly. That was his undoing.
It just occurred to me that if this dude continues to be like crazy evil, there's an ironic death in the wake of JoJo spoilers. Everyone, part 5 of what happened to the villain there. That'd be fucked up.
Okay, jumping ahead in time briefly at night, you send him that. You get a feeling of annoyance, but no verbal response.
When Wade goes to sleep content.
Wow.
But before that happens, it's 7 o'clock, and Turner and who else are going?
Cashmere.
Cashmere.
Turn and cap.
Alex will go as well, actually.
I'm guessing that Wade and Crim are in the middle of their research during this, right?
I imagine.
Probably defending the cart as well.
I think that's more up to you guys.
You find yourselves in a line that wraps around the outside of a nature museum. Let me paint this scene for you because it's kind of particular and relevant. So there's like one wall of this large collection of buildings that is the museum that has these beautiful 20-foot tall windows, floor to ceiling, and they alternate with like 10 feet of steel concrete walls. So it's like, tall window, wall, tall window, wall. Through the windows you can see skeletons that are large of like dinosaurs, and there's big informative placards, there's displays. And then there's a vertical black metal fence that separates the museum wall from the street where you're kind of waiting in a queue. That leaves about 15 feet of space around the building's edge. Picturing it okay?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Let's see, Fantasia. Okay. And there's a large crowd of like city folk that's packed outside the fence, trying to peer inside. Like, are they setting up for the event? Like, they're moving left and right, trying to follow stuff. And that crowd gets increasingly dense up to the front entrance of the museum, which is like 30 feet away, maybe. But everyone's here, dressed, some in costumes with like signs. Everyone's excited to see this most recent non-spontaneous event for the SHL.
Idea occurred to me as I am approaching this. Do I have a rough estimate of maybe how long it might take to get in, or how long the event might last?
I think it'd be maybe a 2 or 3 hour event, and let's say you're there 10 minutes ahead of time.
Dang.
No, it's all previews, though.
Do there seem to be any other winged people who are like kind of like cheating the line and be able to kind of get a view in from the air?
Yeah, there'd definitely be some avians, a couple bats, like making circles around, also looking through the windows.
Is that like frowned upon?
Well, it can't be policed, so no, the culture would develop.
Okay. Turner kind of looks like he's like a little bit antsy, but he also has 2 of his friends here with him, so he won't do that immediately, but he'll keep that idea in mind. If only he didn't dump strength.
The window closest to you shatters. Like candy glass, you might say. A million shards of glass are falling, although they seem to become harmless powder even as they do. A man has jumped through the window onto the space just beyond the fence. He looks like maybe on the worse side of 50, a mule deer uplifted. He's got a scar on his neck, a short white tail with a black tip, and he's covered in a very distinctive costume that's milky white with clocks, watches, and timekeepers of all sorts all over his body. His pauldrons are like those 2 metal bell alarm clocks, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
His rack of horns has been painted that same white as his costume, and it's like this chorus of ticks of like different types from different devices as he's like hitting the ground just outside the fence, and the crowd like roars with excitement.
Oh, this guy's late. He's gonna fight the fan, guys.
He is being pursued by other people on the other side of the window that is now broken. They look like uplifted pigs, but they're clearly mushroom themed, with like these big toadstools for heads. Glimmering yellow spores are trailing behind them as they enter the outside area in hot pursuit. One has red spots, the other has green spots. And this time-themed deer shouts, let me get his voice right. Oh, huh! Your sleepy spore techniques, they won't be enough! And it, and like these yellow spores fly off of him. And the two pig sisters, they look suddenly concerned, like, oh, what else can we try? And then they like run at him. Now they're engaged in some impressive melee work.
Speed like the event with killing someone.
Turner's kind of like watching this, like he's just trying to get like try to glean like how like are they actually like pulling punches? Are they actually like is it actually getting physical, or are they just like really good, not actors?
Also, you could roll either performance or perception. Performance would be better.
Okay. Would it be charisma as well, or?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a 3, so that'll. Ooh. No. No.
It looks pretty
It's real to me,
impressive.
damn
like
it.
They're fighting each other, yeah.
It's real to me. Oh no, watch out! Fireball.
Oops, I thought it was a performance. The prairie dog girl next to you on your left, Cashmere, is like, yeah, like the Super Mushroom Sisters could ever take the Time Master. And this dude on your right, uplifted seal, Turner, says, do the thing, Time Master, do the thing! The crowd's really getting into it. And the deer picks up on this and turns and like basks in the adoration with this bright, charismatic smile.
Hey, doing the thing as a time-based thing is Alex's thing.
Mm. Turner's just kind of like just instinctively just like clicking on his own watch.
Cashmere is very unimpressed. Like watching these clowns jump around.
Oh yeah?
Well,
Let's change that.
From that nat 1 that I got, you just kind of just see like just some actual like just genuine like awe from Turner.
Mhm. This is where all the koi hunters come from. They raised up on shit like this. That's why they murder people to get their powers.
One of the Mushroom Sisters makes this gesture and a vine bursts through the stone and tries to trip the Time Master. And he's like stumbling and he's about to take the girl's sister's knee to his face. And then he's gone. And he's standing instantly behind the two sisters who are converging on him. And he's like
Get his time stop.
doubling them with his rack of horns, tossing them haphazardly to the ground. And you see that the vine that had been tripping up on him, like wrapping around his ankle, is cut. But you never saw him cut it.
Turner's gonna look to that person. I forget what they were. We're gonna just like ask like, so wait, which one's the good guy? Which one's the villain?
People are generally saying that the Time Master is the good one, but they're like pushing your beak away, trying to see what's going on.
Can I do a perception? Oh, sorry.
But that's just Turner reacting. You're good.
Yeah, can I do a perception check to see what exactly happened there?
Sure.
What a idiota!
We just need to offer Scrooge a fuck ton of money with a contract deal and make him harmless.
Let's see here. Okay, 23.
23. You recall, Vine had broken out of the ground, like, wrapped around his ankle, tightening. He'd been like tripping, basically falling on his rump. And instantaneously, he was then standing in a different position, like mid, like bull charging these two pigs from behind, like 6 feet away. And the vine was like displaced to the ground, lifeless, cut in half.
So I have cast the Misty Step spell before. Does it look at all similar to that?
Ooh.
Even if it did, the cut of the vine would definitely not be, right?
You could roll to identify the spell with Arcana. If I'm not mistaken.
Turner's too enraptured right now.
I am bad at that, but I will try.
That'll be the consequence of my nat one.
Yeah, it has to be Arcana for this, doesn't it? Oh no, Nature also lets you do the study action. Is it a spell you can cast?
Yes, it's one of my circle spells.
Okay, so you could do Nature then, I think. And
I am marginally better at that.
Yeah, I'll allow it at least for now.
That's a 17.
17 for a low-grade spell. No.
Or, a spell that's related to it in some way, some other teleportation
say-
spell.
No, this does not look like... It's not Misty Step, and it doesn't seem like any similar effect. And you get resolved for thinking that it could be a spell.
Misty Step.
Right, and these two pigs are tossed to the side, like, oh, gosh, he's so strong, sister. And he speaks, and his voice is like blasted for blocks as he speaks. Oh, let this be a reminder that the Time Master's reign is undisputed, unconquerable, undeniable, unbeatable. There will never be a time where I lose, because, and everyone says, time is mine. And like you can't even hear your own thoughts as everyone's cheering, clearly favoring this awesome deer.
No amount of practical effects in the world can replicate what we just saw.
And he's still like performing like master, servant, like tapping the faces of the clocks. If you think otherwise, you're welcome to try to earn your place at the brutal battle. Will time have a new master? Ha! No! And he walks back into the museum through the broken glass he was tossed through as people like reach out, someone faints. And you see like right on the other side too, very closely watching like tinted spectacle, sunglass people, armored, you see like crossbows, sabers, like hands ready to cast spells. On the roof of this museum too, you would also see like carefully watched is what's happening here, like armored, skilled people watching every moment of this that aren't part of the waiting attendees. And,
All of this-
yeah.
If it's possible for me to potentially be heard talking to Cash and Turner,
It is now. Yeah.
seems harmless enough to me.
Yeah, but all those extra resources and effort just to defend this? I don't get it. I just don't get it.
It's a spectacle. You see how much energy it's bringing to these people? I can kind of see what's got them so excited.
Or, I guess. I don't know. A lot more crazy shit happening elsewhere in the world, and we're sitting here watching this.
We're allowed nights
One
off.
thing I do want to point out with the danger of this guy is not necessarily him. Even if he continues being this showboat, that's not really harmful. The harm is he is known.
Yeah.
Someone's going to notice.
Oh.
And a certain rewind man
Yeah.
is going to take action.
And also, who did he murder to get it?
Well, we don't know that.
Could have just spoken up with it.
We make the two rewind guys fight each other for eternity.
Oh. Well, this isn't a rewind guy. This is probably a time stop guy.
And that's the most notable thing that happens this event. Soon they do let you in, and there is like they've transformed this main what do you call like a section of like a museum, like, oh, we'll come to this new showing. There's a word for it.
Branch? No. Wing?
Floor wing?
No, it's like when there's an event. It's not a location term.
Display.
Exhibition. Exhibition.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exhibition. Exhibition.
Yeah. Like this exhibition of dinosaurs has been turned into a viewing area. Things pulled aside. and there's like a legit combat arena. You see some other people who aren't as cool, who looks like you don't think they could play it off to cause that awe that you felt, Turner, as well as the Time Master and those super mushroom sisters could. The Time Master does not make another appearance. It seems like they're trying to get more renown or go up some ladder. You're not sure how the system works to be able to face the Time Master at the brutal battle.
They're not at the main event yet.
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder how easy it would be to just talk to the guy. You don't think... He's not that popular, right?
Well, at least
The current reigning champion.
locally
Right.
it might be.
Some colorful bird person sitting next to you is like, that's funny, dear, that's funny. You'll never be able to talk to him. He's got the best security in the city. There's no way that the SHL organizers would want anyone, oh, I'm just a fan, and then they pull a knife or something. I mean, he's not superhuman, just between you and me. Or is he? She wouldn't say human, though. She'd say super uplifted.
Super creature.
He's not super anthro, is he?
Super animal.
supernatural.
Supernatural.
People have tried. This person seems very chatty. But they're always turned away by security. There have been incidents. They tried to brush them under, but I'm a super fan, you see. I know all about his patterns.
Super fan, you see.
You can't get
Has
close
he-
to him. You can't even talk to him.
Does anyone know his real identity?
Leans forward. I know his real name. You want to hear it?
Edward
Not
perks his ears.
particularly.
Enlighten us.
What is it?
Braylon. His name's Braylon, but don't tell. He's the Time Master.
I'm gonna Death Note this guy.
Raylan. Right.
No one knows where he came from. He kind of rose to the spotlight as SHL came up to popularity.
Yeah, that'll do it.
How long has this organization been around?
Oh, like 2 moons, perhaps?
Oh, and it's already popular. God damn. This place is
You heard his,
starved for entertainment.
You didn't get to hear his catchphrase yet. Rise with the rack as he tosses you. It's great. Or he uses sometimes, have you got the point yet? I get it because it's so good. I love it.
Seems a little amateurish.
Well, look
You
at you.
said
You're
that to a
just
super fan. Roll for initiative.
drab crow. I don't need to take that. Turns away with a huff.
Tara just kind of looks to the others. Don't worry, we can scare him off with deodorant.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Get resolve.
No.
And the show concludes. How much enjoyment you got is up to you, but it's a spectacle.
Roll for joy.
No additional supernatural effects.
The performers vary, and these seem like overall lower tier ones, but they're skilled in performance, they're skilled in wrestling, melee, like making near misses appear like, near misses appear like true hits. Some of them are showing magical ability. Nothing like you can do, but there's some tier 1, tier 2 effects at play, but those are also carefully sculpted to not cause true harm. But there's sword work, there's unarmed combat. Everyone seems to have their own gimmick.
Okay. Are any of the performers like open to like talking with people, or like even some of like the lower like on the lower card?
You'd have to go like backstage or try and follow them after the show, but it's possible.
Okay. Yeah, he'll try to look for an opportunity to do that.
Are there like very distinctive jobbers?
Are those the people that
They
fail?
lose on purpose,
They're-
yeah.
Well, the jobber is like someone who's like bet to get squashed to make someone else look really strong.
Yes, there's definitely some low tier ones, like the Pitiful Panther is her name. She's a panther, and like she drags her feet onto the stage, is clearly intended to lose, and there's like a bunch of laughs when she does.
Wow, this Just call him Glass Joe at that point.
Turner, name an animal you like, please.
Did you say
That's
Turner?
the weakest one.
Did you say Turner too?
Yes, Turner.
Painted dog.
Painted dog.
Dog.
Oh,
Okay.
I was gonna say this is your chance to say like dragonfly or something.
I forget if we've even seen a dog so far. Have we?
We've seen a ghost wolf.
There are no domestic dogs in this world. But yeah, you
Think
haven't
like
really
an
seen,
African, like African wild dog, but obviously it wouldn't be called that. So
Okay.
There is one SHL warrior called the Crazy Canine. He comes on the stage with like saliva dripping, this wild look in his eyes, like, "Oh no, he was crazy. Who let him in? Was he supposed to be at this event?" Says the announcer, and like, "Oh, he's let loose. Watch out!" And like some higher tier people take him out. But you do see him afterward walking. You see like points in his hood that give your mind's eye the picture of ears that are being hidden, and like his tail looks the same. He's trying to go incognito, and there's no security around him as he makes his way into the evening.
okay, let me just take a quick look at my inventory. Sure, why not? He kind of looks like I was about to say like maybe help me with this one. He's like maybe if Wade was here. I'll just give this a try. Excuse me. The Crazy Canine, was it?
He turns. Oh, good thing the madness. I've kept it at bay for a little bit.
Oh,
But
don't worry, I will say
nice
anything.
to see you, Fen.
Oh yeah. He'll kind of like grab like just like the sheath of a dagger and kind of hold him. Would you be able to sign this for me? I promise I won't tell
Yeah.
anybody.
Yes, of course. All right. Give it to me. Do you have something to write with?
Yeah. He kind of like will pick off like a feather and like grab like a little inkwell.
Okay. He starts. He makes it. You probably might not realize that it's fake what he's doing, but he's like, like I can't get. Well, what's my name again? Such a K, a C, and then like he finally realizes what his name is and writes Crazy Canine.
Thank you. Yeah, I think a friend of mine was looking to might have been joining your guys' ranks. Do you have any cheetahs in your organization?
Cheetahs. Some new people coming, all sorts of new ideas from all sorts of parts of Bose. I believe Starcatcher, she's a weasel, mentioned something about the jock. I think he's a cheetah. He's not here yet. He's being recruited. I don't know if the deal went through.
Turner's about just trying to like hold a groan at that. What about any bats?
There was Screecher, but she fell out of popularity last 2 weeks ago. No other bats.
He's just gonna kind of roll that one out. She'd probably be more of like a managerial thing then. So you said he's like a new recruit?
I really shouldn't be telling you this. Could you roll a performance check? Or persuasion?
I'm not good at those, but at least I have resolve.
Yeah. I should have gone to the wrestling match.
Ooh, a 17 on the die. And I
Damn.
think that's just gonna be my result.
He looks at you warily, looking quite sane in the moment.
I'm also trying to look like a fan too, so that we could say that's also performance, but yeah, whatever. Either way, 17 is at least a good roll.
Gives you a praising look, and then I happen to see a roster at the headquarters. He's on there tentatively, but again, we don't know for sure. I don't know where he's coming from. Starcatcher was going to leave, I think today, tomorrow. Trying to seal the deal, wherever he is. Maybe pick up some other talent too.
see. Well, thank you, and good luck with your next show.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I feel it coming back. You better go.
Oh, yeah, he kind of like just like puts on that little fear, like, oh yeah, tempting to stay, but I'll go.
Like snaps his jaws at your neck as you like back up, and then he runs off.
How terrifying. Cole, what have you gotten yourself into this time? I have a feeling he would be a natural at this.
That is that event. Anything else for this day that we haven't hit?
I presume, like, when we head back, we're gonna tell Wade and Crim what we saw. Yeah.
I imagine
Oh.
so.
Oh god.
Yeah, Crim would be like, okay, well now we have to investigate this, don't we? Just to make sure he's okay. We don't have to take the power, but well, I mean, if he's got security, maybe no, they'll die too. No, that won't work either. We have to at least warn him.
I'm glad I wasn't there to see it.
Well, one of my friends might be getting involved into this, so yeah, it's in my interest to
We might have an in.
Well,
As
there's
long
that
as we
too.
can get within a decent distance, I can message him.
Oh, that's true.
God, I wish that sorcerers could learn sending, but it's probably a good thing that that we can't just do that.
Yeah. If I can meet my sister, I could send a sending. In case if we don't act, this world's going to get taken over by the opportunists and the power hungry.
Well, I won't put it on any of you guys to partake in that, but I might have to catch another couple of shows until I can hopefully find him. Although it wasn't that bad. You actually might see something in it. I'm sure Cashmere did.
I thought it was cool.
I don't know. I just find this whole thing silly.
Well, Crim, you didn't get to see one. You didn't get to see the real deal. You just saw like an amateur one that kind of got botched.
Oh. Well, if it's even better, I have to see it. Especially if we're just going to be spending our time here anyway. Learn the culture, you know? I still need to find a book, too. Oh, there are just so many. It's Karifi. How can I pick one?
There are actually a couple that I might want to get for you, but we'll cross that bridge later.
Maybe the history of Karifi. That's always a good fallback.
Cashmere lets out a sigh. Well, that lady's still open to be talked to tomorrow. If we really want to get in there, we'd have to find some way in.
Turner, you mentioned that some of them fell out of popularity, so you can kind of, even if we wanted to get close, we could probably, fake it for a little while and then disappear.
Well, just don't use the word fake around them. I think that might set them off.
Oh yeah, we're faking the faking. I mean, we're faking the performing?
Call me old-fashioned, but I fear what effect this will have on those culturally. This glamorization of all of this.
Well, I don't really know what it'll do. I only really read about things like these in novels.
Imagine what people will do to get the superpowers they saw on stage.
Well, I don't think they know that it's actually a power. I think that's a great place to hide, really. Although, we should probably be careful about using any of our time powers in public like that. This is probably Koi Hunter Central.
Yeah, and even that wrestler you mentioned, if he has to do it repeatedly, performance after performance, he's going to go insane eventually.
Did he seem insane? He kind of looks at Turner and the others.
Hey, Tal,
Hard
quick
to say.
question. based on like the way that we know that these powers like work on us, would we think that using it in like an actual like in a much more low stress like situation like they're doing, would that have like the same effect as us like using it in multiple difficult battles?
It's hard to say. The only person who so far has seemed to be mentally affected among you is Cashmere, and he used them in fairly stressful situations pretty quickly.
One was fairly stressful, and the follow-up was when he was just like, whatever. He was actually kind of low stress, but still super agitated.
He was just like, he was tired and used it because he didn't feel like doing anything else.
And in both cases, he was not in a calm state of mind, so that's worth noting.
Yeah, so it's hard to extrapolate to the Time Master.
For all we know, he could have been honing this craft, and or maybe the madness is thinking that it all is real.
That'd be so funny.
I
The
suspect
thing that
it
makes
matters
it
more.
insane is what makes him the best performer.
I expect it's the frequency that matters more. If he is the king of the ring, as you say, and he keeps getting booked for more and more shows, what will
That's
happen.
true.
And as
Well,
you
at least it's
discuss-
worth seeing how he goes.
As you discuss this in your nice room at Ye Old Bell Tavern in Western Karifi, last thing I'll say is as you're going through your inventory, settling everything for the night, getting ready for bed, Turner, you will keep seeing that little glistening neon green color in your pack every time you reorganize it, exusia. So let me know if you ever wish to do anything regarding that whole topic.
Yeah, there's just like a lot. I have just like a lot of leads right now, so it's just hard for me to focus on just like any one thing. So it's very possible some things might get. 'Cause yeah, between
We still gotta find him.
yeah, between Turner's friends, the brouhaha in town, the resident stuff. Yeah, there's a lot.
We
Yeah.
want to find the resonance at some point, but we just don't know where they are right now, I think.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll call it.
I mean, like, I think out of character we know, but we did justify in character.
Do you remember in character what your plan was to meet with them? Or out of character?
I thought
You proposed it, Wade?
Did you mean the ones that turn we talked today, or the ones from way back when that had the walking machine?
Way back when.
We never had like a specific plan on where to meet them, I don't think, because yeah.
Yeah, because I think they
Whatever.
vaguely told us that they were just like wandering because they had a purpose to wander somewhere and they don't like settling.
Well,
So it wasn't
you,
like we could have coordinated.
you have sending, so
Yeah, I could have
And
Wade.
he would send them.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I could have Wade ask if they're in Karifi.
Okay, but anyway, I will end the stream now. Thank you guys all for watching, and we'll catch you
Bye.
next week.
Thank
and hopefully,
you, bye.
Bye bye.
hopefully I'll have my stream face on. Yay!
SHL.
Yay.
SHL.
SHL. SHL.